in the form of so-called getting a good degree, getting a good job. So there are the mindset that, which eventually is taken as a talk about later. But even to get a good degree and good job, you need to prove yourself because nobody knows you. Right? So why? Then the question is again, why is going to someone hire you or talk about you on a perspective journey or an opportunity kind? Sometimes I found many times the grad students comes and talk to me, I have this experience back home, I want to do this, but I did few interviews or people are not talking to me. I want to challenge again there. I say sometimes, why that person is going to talk to you? Can you go back to check your weak point and your strength? Do you see any gap there? If there is any gap, are you working on those gaps to overcome those things? Or instead you are just saying that I am good in everything, right? There is nothing called good in everything, because I have seen people working 50, 60 years in life, even they are learning. So there is no end of learning. So if we are not open-minded as a grad student coming into this country and looking for opportunities, looking for networking, looking for people around me or us, it will be a very difficult journey to go ahead and hit the wall. But if you're open-minded, you will find people around you, you will be always exploring for people outside your community, because at the end of the day you need to build network. And when you are open-minded exploring the opportunities, eventually you will find out options that is coming towards you, and you are working and taking actions to overcome those small steps.
Thank you so much. So if I summarize what I understood is that when I am a graduate, where I started, is I have to prepare myself. I need a right mindset that I have to get a good job, and this is a never-ending process. I can't give up, and also I have to prepare myself. I have to know my craft, and I have to keep learning my craft.
Yeah.
Is that something you
can mindset is something very important. You have to work on it.
Great, yeah. I'm going to come to Faisal Bhai. So one of his great contribution to the engineering community and community in general, engineering and science community in general, he helps one-to-one mentor. Like he does one-to-one mentorship to get people in place in government position and also elsewhere as well. So I will start. So when a person comes to you, what do you see in them, and what is your go-to mentoring advice, or let's say the words that you say to prepare them for their journey?
Thank you, Fed. So my experience after working a lot of fresh graduates, not only graduates, also experienced professionals who want to switch career, or maybe move on to some better positions or better organizations. I see actually from our Bangladeshi community, Bangladeshi engineering professionals, they are kind of a little bit shy. So they just don't want to build a rapport, I mean the good relationship with the seniors, like who is experienced or somebody who can actually guide you, because not everybody is helpful, or maybe not everybody has time to give you enough. But first, you need to build the rapport first. The confidence, so that he gets confidence and he gets comfortable with you, and you can actually borrow some experience, or I would say professional tips and professional do's and don'ts from the experienced person. So first try to build a rapport rather than trying to say, oh hello here, or hello, I just saw a job advertisement over there, plus please help me by referencing or something. It's very direct request. So be polite, be gentle, and then try to learn and try to get some, I would say, insider info about that office, like what kind of projects they're working on, what are the skill sets they're actually looking for. Are they working on like existing projects, or are they have planned to migrate to something new, so they're going to hire some new skill sets or people with those latest technologies. So try to get some insider info. That's most important part. And then try to tailor your resume basically. So tailoring resume means translating your past experience, even maybe school work or maybe your real life work, into some Canadian context, so that Canadian employers, those who's going to hire you, they can say, oh well, he knows our language. So in one sense, I will be a little radical here, because I work mostly with people who are kind of like new migrant over here. They don't have academic experience or academic degrees from Canada. Even I myself, I didn't have any academic degree from Canada. So what I have seen, like, it's not rocket science, because I also worked in basically Sweden. I have my master's from Sweden, worked in Dubai. I also worked in the UK, and also have little experience from Australia. So I actually went all over the world, alhamdulillah. And I have seen engineering works is not like rocket science or something, right? Neuroscience is even harder than engineering rocket science. So it's all the places, it's like 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle. Like 80% of the outcomes coming from the 20% of the cause, right? So it's basically like you just need to know what kind of things they're doing every day. So get in touch with some experienced professionals and try to learn, like, how can I tailor my resume? How can I actually modify my resume with the job I had before, or with the academic problems? Even if you haven't done it, do some homework. Learn some latest technology, latest skills from the, recently all Gen AI things available. Go to ChatGPT, ask it, or even there are so many courses, Udemy and Coursera, right? Try to learn on the new skills, then talk to the professional and say, okay, I have learned this. Now, what should I do? How should I tailor my resume so that it matches or fits in your organizational roles and responsibilities? This is how actually you should move on.
Oh, good, great. Anybody taking notes? I am. So what I got is that from the first speaker that you have to be crafting yourself, and from Fossil Care is the same resonance. That you have to know stuff, do your homework, you have to know where you want to work, who are the people who are working there, and what skill do we need to actually get into that position.
Can I add what Faisal Bhai said? So that's a great point Faisal Bhai said, because that's his perspective coming from outside. I'll add a little bit here. Say, think about, you will go to Bangladesh, like many of the people are from Bangladesh. You don't go right away to Bangladesh. You plan ahead, you book your ticket, and then you know your journey, what will be the journey look like, and what you're going to do. So when you're coming here, you're not going to directly jumping into a job. So you have a plan. So what is your plan? Again, go back to your challenge and thought process. What is your plan? Are you building those relationships in terms of coaching and mentorship when you are a grad student or a student when you came? Because if someone goes to Faisal Bhai and say, oh, I know Faisal Bhai, I have a job opening here, can you refer? He doesn't know you at all. He has some professional responsibility that he cannot write everything to everyone. So when I'm saying mentorship and coaching, plan ahead, build those network ahead of time. So in my case, like when I came as a master's student, I switched to PhD. I have supervisors, like I have a collaborative PhD from University of Cambridge, UK, Memorial, and the federal government agency. So it's kind of a combined thing. So I have to learn a lot of things. What I have learned that period of time, I have seen that the facility that I was working, a lot of vice president, director comes, they don't have even masters and PhD. So how come these guys are working and handling all those things, which a lot of people have a lot of technical background cannot cover. So that gives me the first perspective that something I have to work beyond my technical skill. Technical is important, don't get me wrong, it's important. But outside that thing, you have to work on something else, and that plan should be required. I'm talking about more soft skills, talking about more networking. And when I'm talking about coaching and mentorship, this is a two different things to me at least. I have done, when I'm saying coaching and guidance, someone comes to me for a specific thing. I have done it for hundreds of students, regardless of Bangladeshi, across in last 16 years of my journey. When it comes to mentorship, it's more close. It's more one-to-one. I know a lot of things about that person. And when I'm talking about mentorship, probably 20, 30 students, not only students, early grad, I mentored, out of them, probably 10, 12 are working on big companies. So they are there, but they need to be open up so that I can help. If I don't know what is their plan, what they want to go through, there's no way I can get into that. So just to add on those points.
Yeah, no, the great add-ons. So I can just probably summarize in a way that, so let's say, like we hear that a lot. That, okay, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm looking for a job every day, I still 1 year, nothing popped up. So maybe those are the do's and don'ts we should follow, that actually, am I doing something wrong? Just go through your whiteboard again and just find out that what I'm doing, what I have done so far that didn't work. And then we have to think it through that how we can do differently. And one of the different is that getting to know people in your industry. I'm looking at both the headers and they are shaking in agreement.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to come back to Wasabara. So Wasabara, I know even very recently the mentees that you were mentored for got placements. So we just now we little bit heard from Rajiv Bhaiya that we sometimes we always see the failure, like we don't know what we're doing wrong. But when they get placement, that means that they had done something right. So what they have done something right for your new mentees, like the mentees who got new jobs?
Yeah. So just a recent example of kind of like my success. I would say just day before yesterday, one of my mentees, he's not Bangladeshi, he lives in Calgary and also Nigerian. So somehow he connected with me, or connected with me through LinkedIn, saying, hey, Faisal, I saw you just passed the PQA exam recently, and I would like to know what's the experience and how I would like to get it. So I would like to have your time, please. Please give me some time so that we can discuss, and I would like to plan something based on your advice. So it's a very gentle touch. And believe me, it happened on May 29th, like just maybe, yeah, recently. And so after 1 or 2 days, I replied, I was at office and I said, okay, I have time, well, 1 hour during my lunch time, let's catch up. So I heard that he's a fresh graduate and he's just doing some co-op at some small offices actually. So there is a position at City of Calgary, like traffic engineering, EIT, and I'm still like, do you have any relevant work experience? He said, not directly, but through co-op, he touched those things. So I said, do you have any coursework related to this job? So he said, yeah, because during his master's, he had so many courses in traffic and transportation. So I said, oh, well, we can use it. So see the job description, try to catch at least 80% of the keywords. And first, also, before optimize your LinkedIn resume with the proper keywords, so that the hiring manager who hired you, he can see your LinkedIn profile and have some confidence in you. Like, okay, these guys have those keyword skill sets already, because LinkedIn also have some, invisible. I would say, yeah. It can give you some invisible, I would say, boost up to your profile, to the hiring manager. And then I actually gave him some very quick shortcut guideline. Go to this maybe manual or guideline, just have some 1 or 2 reports that City of Calgary recently produced. Just have a quick look and try to capture the keywords, because in your interview definitely they are going to ask you something relevant to this. So I gave him like 1 hour advice or something. Alhamdulillah, just day before yesterday, he sent me with the job offer letter. He got hired for the position, traffic engineering EIT. So what I am trying to say, even though the time frame was so short over here, he tried to connect with me very gently and politely, and definitely technical things required, right, for your job. And then expert or somebody who works in the profession can actually guide the career changer, or I would say the new fresh graduates to actually tailor your resume so that you get the actually interview, and also you know how to answer the interview questions, because that's very important. There's another part, like how to answer. Maybe you can touch it. Should we touch it?
Well, so we will love that, but we are, just to be on time, we have 10 more minutes for our session. So I want to use this 10 precious minute very wisely, and I want to go to Rajiv Bhaiya to give us at least 5 tips. 5, okay, promise? So that it could be worthwhile for us to go away from here with some very good directions.
Okay, great. So, as I said, my content is a little bit of general, but I want to add a little bit in terms of perspective, the way I'm telling these points in terms of journey. So, after graduations here, like I work on different sectors, R&Ds, municipal government, consulting, construction, consulting, companies, big companies like Stantec, WSPs, Kiwi Constructions, and then, so there are a bunch of US and Canada, I work both places. So, most of the time I face, like, back to Faisal Bhai's point, the starting point, there could be coach or guidance and mentors. But coach and guidance and mentors are giving me the suggestions. I am the player who is putting them in action. Am I doing it right? Because Faisal Bhai will not be there or I will not be there to help how you are going to do that. And you cannot do the copy-paste. Copy-paste doesn't work, right? So don't do that. So when you are trying to sell yourself, be genuine. Because at the end of the day, it's a selling business. Why someone is going to hire you? Because you need to sell. But do not tell anything which is not right or you have never done it. So be genuine, right? When you want to sell it, be genuine. Be a good listener and a good learner, because there are a lot of options to learn. Get associated with the right association, right people. There is definition of right people or wrong people. I don't like to do that. It's in your gut will tell you. Okay? You see that where is an opportunity to grow. Is there an opportunity to grow in terms of mentally, physically? As long as you are growing, association and people around you are growing, that's a good association. That's your gut check, right? Then be a good listener and also try to apply in actions what you need to do right. Okay? Networking is big thing. Plan ahead. Plan ahead of networking, not right just go away. Oh, I am in the second year of my journey of undergrad. So I have one more year to finish my degree, say masters. Plan. That's a 1 year is your planning period. It's not that, oh, my degree is finishing next month, I want to get a job. No, it doesn't work like that. Plan ahead so that you can build your network accordingly, right? And then other thing is how you are, your control point. And we know that we kind of sometimes go stuck in our mindset, patience, and oh, why it happened with me, or why it didn't happen with me, why didn't I get the job, why that person is get the job. Do not compare with anyone. Only compare yourself, who you are yesterday, who you are today, where you want to be tomorrow. No comparison with anyone. They can do whatever. You don't know what is going on in their life. But most of the time we see that most of our energy is going on, oh, that person is here, I have to follow. No. Follow only yourself. Follow your dream. Follow your goal. And go back, take a pause, action, what you need to change. Remember what you can control. You cannot control anyone in this world except you. And you know what you can control. You can control what you say, what you think, what you do, what you do means your action, and what you feel, or how do you feel. These are the 4 things, it's fully in your control. If you put it in a funny way, we cannot even control our wife. So let's put it that way. So you can only control yourself, so focus on your control item. And present yourself in such a way so that wherever you go, you add value. Keep yourself that, tell you that you have a lot of potential, don't put you down because it's on your control. You should not put yourself down, but do not show your ego. Be humble. Humbleness is important. As you're growing up, taking more and more lead, your humbleness is the things will decide where you will be going next. Say for my current role, principal is kind of senior technical manager on a geotechnical engineering because I practice on the geotechnical engineering side. I have also 2 other roles. I have national lead for geohazard management, if you are familiar with anything what is called geohazard. I am also the Ontario and Atlantic Geotech and Water Champion for Research and Innovation for WSP. So I have multiple roles, but I can take more when I feel that I can offer more. So when you are going and carrying up, put the mindset of more giving. What you can give to that company, to that place, rather than I want this, I want this. That's again thought process. Again, this is my perspective. I have gone through, I'm fortunate enough to God, and I have met a lot of successful people in different levels, not Bangladeshi, but other than people in different categories, whether it's entrepreneurs, whether it's a CEO or vice president, or different roles. This is all my journey. I have learned that we have to also sometimes read beyond our typical textbook so that your brain can open up and you can see yourself in a better direction. Okay? And one last thing, wherever you go, especially for interviews and all the other places, make sure you are presentable. Put your face in such a way with a smile. Smile doesn't cost anything. But we are Bangladeshis. Sometimes I found like we are very shy. And you know, you have to overcome that barrier. So be presentable, have a smile, have some good questions, always ask for feedback. Doesn't matter whether it's a coach, guide or mentor versus an interview. If there is an opportunity, polite way, ask for feedback. So those are the few points.
I asked for 5, but I think I got more than 5, for sure. Thank you so much, Rajita. Just to announce in here that our mentors are around till the lunch, I hope. Okay, sure. So you guys will have the opportunity to talk to them directly in on one-to-one and take their mentee debate. Now we want to move to Faisal there and give us his few sentences and summary for like the job opportunities and procedures and like those scopes in transportation especially.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to come over here?
So I'm gonna say a little bit about government, transportation, and industry sector. Rajiv is here to actually let you know about private consultancies. So that we cover basically transportation and civil engineering, geotech. I mean overall civil engineering, not only civil engineering, is related to any engineering thing. Even though I'll be focusing on transportation, but we need to learn a lot about from the holistic perspective how a city or municipality or region or actually province planning the whole thing. So it's all connected. So typically for transportation modeling and design, the job scopes or the work scopes actually kind of basically in 3 categories, like the macro model or macroscopic level, like the macroeconomics, like what's happening for the whole country. So federal government is actually kind of taking care of that part, right? So they think about different provinces, all the long highways connecting from one province to another province. So those actually part of the federal government job. And this is kind of looking like a bird's eye view, or you are at CN Tower and looking at how the network looks like. So basically, if you apply or if you target the federal government job, so you need to understand the kind of, I would say, macroscopic behavior. So for our traffic and transportation, we also do similar kind of thing, as you can see. It's kind of like bird's eye view, what's happening from trips originating from where to destination to where, those kind of things. And on the other hand, if you work for a basically municipal government or maybe small team hormone kind of thing, right? A very micro level, and you want to design a team hormone or something or building facilities. So you need to know the ins and outs of all the technicalities or technical terms for the microscopic level. Even in our modeling, we call like microscopic modeling, and where actually you need micro simulation skills, all the analytical skills, how to analyze an intersection, how to analyze a road network for the local municipalities. So basically, the skill set is also actually depends on where you are targeting, right? Is federal job or the local municipality? One is not easier than others, because those who work in the macro, they can work their entire life in macro, and those who work in micro, they can work entirely in micro level. There's something in between always, like we call it meso level. So I'm actually kind of giving you some introduction of modeling as well, macro, micro, ingredient, macro. So your job could be hybrid. Like if you work for the regional government, it could be like you have to know both ways. Like you have to know the municipal thing and also the provincial and federal thing, right? So take your resume actually based on this. That's the point. That's why I'm showing it this slide, like this kind of thing. And when we do engineering design or analysis, I don't know if it's working or not. So actually made some quick analysis. Actually, it's based on the OpenAI. Just yesterday, I tried to get some idea about the transportation job market in Ontario. So if we see like transportation engineer, basically traffic engineer, designer, then transportation planner, and all civil engineering technologists. So basically, the rapid infrastructure investment across Ontario, and I like that word because he actually initiated lots of road network projects like GTA West, Bradford Bypass, then Ontario Line, YNNC Line, and a lot of DRT road projects. So basically for transportation, I would say next 50 years we would be still working on this. So it's a good market demand for transportation, especially civil. And when I'm saying transportation, geotech also comes, environment also comes together. It's a package. It's not like only transportation, but in the drivers, the projects are basically transportation. So a lot of, even in our transportation planning and transportation science, people from computer science, for urban planning, everybody work together. It's not only one specific domain. We need a lot of actually data scientists and a lot of, I would say, network analysts kind of coming from computer science as well. So I work with them almost every day. Every semester I have a co-op student from UFT coming from computer science and statistics. So it's an interdisciplinary field. So if you see the job supply and demand ratio, so transportation engineers, right? Basically civil engineer from civil engineering, it's like 0.9 to 1. So the market kind of balanced supply and demand and 1% of annual job growth. So that's actually the first speaker, actually our VIP guest, he actually mentioned that in Canada it's always like this. It's a balanced supply and demand. Canadian market, you don't find a lot of jobs out in the market. So it's very necessary that we tailor our resume. I would say something kind of like faking it a little bit until you fake it a little bit until you make it. That's the motto. A little bit in the sense of, not in the sense of dishonesty. You shouldn't lie or you shouldn't exaggerate, because the employer or the hiring manager can easily identify if he knows this or not. Because if you exaggerate your resume with a lot of skills, like those who work with only an intersection analysis, doing only synchro analysis, for example, or a micro simulation, how does he know the macro? Yeah, that's another story. So if he lies like with lots of skills, like he's the knowing everything in the world, you shouldn't do like this. You should just tailor your resume based on the job and the location where you are applying. So I'm not going into details, but this is just to show you that there is a good market growth. It's a balanced, and it's not like a lot of jobs out in the market, but it's a balanced market still. So try to tailor your resume according to that. So there are some current, even see the government position, Ministry of Ontario. I would like to tell all of the engineering graduates, even for a career growth or something, always apply to OPS, Ontario Public Service Careers. Believe me, they are the only government agency, I would say, within Canada. They respect international work experience. Without any Canadian experience, you can apply to OPS. So go to Careers Ontario and maybe make some job alert email notification and try to apply to OPS to make an entry. And for government position, I would like to say, like, it's very difficult to make an entry to the permanent position directly. So always look for 1 year contract or 6 months, 8 months temporary positions, because this is how you're going to make an entry into the market. The reason in government offices, there is something called QP, meaning union employees. So it's a unionized environment. So in unionized environment, if you work 6 months, so you gain some union hours. So even in our job recruitment, I work at ABEO. It's one of the best government offices in Canada. Even back in 2020, 22 or something, in Forbes list magazine, it became actually #1 in Ontario, except one in Quebec. That was the country, Quebec Hydro or something. So it's written like 2 candidates. If one is from the union, he has some union hours, and another guy, maybe he's a superman. He has all the skills in the world. But according to the rule of the union, the person who worked under the union environment gets the priority if he or she can show like at least 60% skill set matches, or he can actually manage 60 to 70%. So they're not going to hire the superman who is coming from external side. They're going to hire the internal person who was just a co-op just few months ago. So they're going to hire him. So that's the union rule. So try to focus also on those temp positions, as our speaker from OPG also mentioned the same thing. That could be the your first entrance to the government market, where you find unionized positions. So a lot of positions in traffic and transportation going on in Ontario right now. So tailor your resume, target all the OPS opportunities first, because they are really a very good government agency, provincial government. I love them. So okay, I have nothing to say. Thank you so much, Ifa, for inviting me at the last moment.
Well, we are really happy that you made it, and we really appreciate this information. This is actually wonderful as a summary of, especially with the job, the titles. That's very interesting. We want to thank our panelists. Any final remarks?
Yeah, no, just one thing. I just want to add here just one line from my story, and also the inspiration for the others, because as I said, like when the people comes here, they need the strong belief system they can do it. That's the belief system. And when they can feel that they can do it, when they can see the example in front of them. So from my perspective, when I came and attached with the Canadian Geotechnical Society going to the conference, I only found only 3-4 Bangladeshi people out of 1,000. And we don't have any voice there, nothing, right? So when I took the opportunity, some chapter lead and here and there, and eventually many years of work, I got recognized 2 years ago, like that's called the Early Career Achievement Awards, which is for exceptional technical and leadership skills. In the whole Canada, they give one person below 40s. So I got that one. That was a great achievement. And the best part is, after that, because I have few followers who try to duplicate the same thing, and that's the second Bengali girls get after me. So those kind of things inspire other people, that when you believe in yourself and follow the right path, there are a lot of good things are waiting for you. You just need to go and grab it. You need to have the confidence and the skills. Thank you.
Thank you so much again for both of your time. We can thank you enough, but we just have a little token to say that we really appreciate it. We have the presenters. So can we please have Habibur Rahman sir from Shred Alumni and Sirajul Islam, behalf of Juliet Alumni, to present our little thank you. Again, we will get one-to-one mentoring options. And now, mentors, they are here till lunch, and we will have the mentoring side over there. So without further any delay, we want to go ahead to our next session. One of my favorite people and one of my other going to be favorite people. Okay, so we have Janatul Moid. He is the Chief Operating Officer from Von Air. Please welcome Janatul Moid. Janatul Moid has several years of PP and managerial possession experience in the mechanical and some of the names you all know. I actually have my presentation while I am offering. Okay, he has experience in GE, Siemens, Armstrong, and recently he is working with Von Air as a Chief Operating Officer. We are glad to have him here.
Thank you.
So we want with him. We want to welcome our next panelist in here, Sheikh Iftikhar Uddin. He is an energy project coordinator at GDSB. He graduated from BUAT in 1996. My numbers. And also he has a master's degree from Ryerson University. He is working at GDSB that I mentioned, and he also has several experience in working in Bangladesh. I'm glad to have you both in here. Thanks for your time. Grab your microphone. So this is a very interesting panel. They are representing mechanical engineering, but their journey are very, very different. So I want to start with Iftikhar. So when I learned that you work as an engineer in TDSB, that was the news to me. Because I thought all the TDSB has the teachers. But they have engineers. So tell us about what does the engineering department do at TDSB?
Thank you. First, I'd like to start thanking this organization and thanking you everyone for inviting me. And this is a great honor. And this gives me some opportunity to share some information with you. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. সবার প্রতি শুভকামনা। আমি একটু বাংলা মিক্স করেও কথা বলবো, কারণ বাংলাদেশ এনভায়রনমেন্ট আমি পুরো ইংলিশ বলতে গেলে আটকায় যাই, পার্সোনালি আটকায় যাই। আমি একটু বাংলা ইংলিশ ভেজাইলা স্টাইলে একটু কথা বলবো আর কি। এই কোশ্চেনটা আমি অনেকের কাছে শুনেছি যে টিডিএসবি মানেই বা টিচার। না, টিচার না, আমি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার। তো কীভাবে ঢুকলেন, কী আছে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এখানে? এখানে বিষয়টা কি, আমাদের স্কুল বোর্ড, বাংলাদেশের স্কুল বোর্ড বলতে আমরা বুঝি এরা ম্যাট্রিক পরীক্ষা নেবে, ইন্টারমিডিয়েট পরীক্ষা নেবে। আর এখানে স্কুল বোর্ড বলতে ফুল প্যাকেজ মানে তারা জমি কিনবে, বিল্ডিং বানাবে, বিল্ডিং মেনটেন করবে, টিচার অ্যাসাইন করবে, টিচার কি পড়াবে, স্টুডেন্ট কি পড়বে, স্টুডেন্টের কোয়ালিটি কীভাবে নির্ধারণ হবে, তারপরে আমাদের লয়ার সেকশন আছে, এইচআর সেকশন আছে, ফাইন্যান্স সেকশন আছে, বাজেট কীভাবে কন্ট্রোল হবে। So it is a combination of all departments here. You cannot imagine everything here. So naturally, we have engineering sector. Not only TDSB, school board. In North America, every school board, America, Canada, every school board has engineering section. And engineering section, we have a couple of categories: civil, architecture, mechanical, electrical, building automation, environmental, আমাদের সব সেকশনই আছে আর কি। তো সেই হিসাবে আমি টিডিএসবির এনার্জি সেকশনে আছি আর কি, এনার্জি ম্যানেজমেন্ট সেকশনে আছি আর কি। তো আমাদের আবার বিভিন্ন ক্যাটাগরি কাজ আছে। তো এটাই।
Oh, nice. Great to hear there. And so what I take it that all the divisions, so not only just mechanical, but you also have civil and electrical and structures?
Everything.
Okay, nice. Good to know that. We want to shuffle to Moin. Moin, your journey is very different.
Right.
We kind of have, as an engineer, we kind of have a trademark that we have to do technical work. So design, or study. But what I take it that in your career, your journey is more onto going to the leadership positions, managerial positions. So tell us about that.
Yeah, thank you, Ifadapo, and I'm very delighted to be here. And
Okay, try this one.
Let me try the other one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this one is much better.
Sounds
Or
like a bit
I can
job.
stand. I think that's much better. So yeah, thank you Ifadapu for inviting me here. I'm very delighted to be here and seeing all of you. So as Ifadapu mentioned that my journey started as an engineer. So I graduated from BUET, came into this country as a master's student, and then I started my engineering career as a design engineer, manufacturing engineer. But soon I realized that every one of us are working for a business. Either you work for a government company or you work for a public company. At the end of the day, it's a business. And business has two sides. One is the technical side, and another one is the administrative side. So what I realized is working in the engineering sector, you're only looking at one aspect of the business. To look at the other aspect of the business, you need to have that business skill. And my journey started when I started working for General Electric many years ago. I was very proud as one of their manufacturing engineer, early career manufacturing engineer. And at one point, it still rings a bell in my ear that the divisional head at that point called me in his office and he was saying that, Zen, one thing you need to realize that technology is valueless without industrialization. And that's where all the business people comes in to take this technology from an R&D phase to an industrial phase or a business phase. So that's when my journey started. I went to Schulich School of Business, did my MBA in finance, and you'll be very interested to know that I would say more than 80% of the leaders in finance, they come from engineering background because finance is like 100% math. And the engineers, they enjoy finance. So then after graduating, I started working for different companies, more into the management role. So I worked as a vice president engineering, director of engineering, global engineering manager, that sort of role. And then sooner I realized when I actually gained all of my skill set in all the aspects of business, not only engineering, finance, accounting, HR. So then I got promoted as a chief operating officer for Vonnier. It's a mid-sized private company. So one other interesting thing that I switched in my career is throughout my early career, I worked for all the big companies. And then I decided that no, I'm going to take a step back, switch, go to the mid-level companies. A lot of you will have that question why I made that switch. And it's very interesting for me is working for big companies, I always feel that you are part of the system, you are not driving the system. So I kind of realized that I want to drive the system, I want to make the system. And it's so much bureaucratic when you work for bigger organizations, so that's why I took my step back. And since 2020, I started working for mid-sized companies in US and Canada. So I work for semiconductor industries, I work for HVAC industry. So my extensive experience is wholly into manufacturing business and managing manufacturing companies globally.
Thank you. That's some of the points I find it very interesting, especially the last note when you mentioned that at the stages of your career, you have to choose that what type of role you want to take and where are those roles. It doesn't have to be multinational company all the time. Yeah, multinational company could suit for, especially for the newcomers where they have their own mandates for diversity and things like that. So multinational companies like consulting companies like Stantec, WSP or whatnot, GHD, they could be an example of that they appreciate multi-diversity, so they are more open to accept people from international. But if you are looking to grow your career, you can even choose what position you want to be and whatever size of the company you are. And I like that remark that you said, you can actually, when you are a mid-sized company, you actually drive the business.
And that's a common trend now. So if you look at all the top business schools in the US, very few of those candidates are actually working for branded companies like Boston Consulting or other companies. A lot of them are actually now more interested to work into the mid-size and even boutique level companies.
Nice, it's a good point. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm much comfortable standing.
Okay. Yeah, I want to switch back to Iftikhar. So I heard, we learned about that all the engineering profession has opportunities in the TDSB. So what are those? Are those entry-level positions? Are more so like you need some experience and then you get in? And if not, like if I don't have experience, I get in, but do I get enough training to actually learn stuff and navigate through it?
Actually, we have entry-level positions and we have mid or higher-level positions as well. We have all kind of positions. যদিও ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং ডিপার্টমেন্টটা অত বড় না, আবার ছোটও না, কারণ সবগুলো সেক্টর ডিপার্টমেন্ট এখানে ইনভলভ আছে আর কি। তো আমাদের ইন জেনারেল স্ট্রাকচার হচ্ছে অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট ডিজাইনার অর অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট প্রজেক্ট সুপারভাইজার, দেন ডিজাইনার, প্রজেক্ট সুপারভাইজার, ম্যানেজার, সিনিয়র ম্যানেজার। দিস ইজ দ্য স্ট্রাকচার। সো অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট পজিশনগুলো হচ্ছে এন্ট্রি লেভেলের জন্য, বা যারা আমরা অন্য দেশ থেকে হুট করে চলে এসেছি তাদের জন্য অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট দিয়ে ঢোকাটা ইজি। এবং কিছু এক্সপিরিয়েন্স থাকলে ন্যাচারালি ইউ ক্যান স্কিপ অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট লেভেল, ইউ ক্যান ডাইরেক্টলি গো টু ডিজাইনার অর প্রজেক্ট সুপারভাইজার পজিশন ইফ ইউ হ্যাভ এক্সপিরিয়েন্স। বাট রেগুলার ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং প্রজেক্ট সুপারভাইজার পজিশনটা একটু এক্সপিরিয়েন্স ছাড়া একটু ডিফিকাল্ট। অ্যান্ড দেন ন্যাচারালি প্রমোশন, ম্যানেজার, সিনিয়র ম্যানেজার। বাট এখানে একটা কথা একটু বলে রাখি, ইন জেনারেল ক্যানাডার সিস্টেম হচ্ছে হু ইউ নো রাদার দ্যান হোয়াট ইউ নো। তো নেটওয়ার্কিং ইজ ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। কে আছে, কোথায় আছে, এবং কোথায় জব পোস্টিং আছে, জব পোস্টিংয়ের খোঁজগুলো কীভাবে পাওয়া যাবে, অ্যান্ড রেফারেন্স, ন্যাচারালি নেটওয়ার্কিং থেকে রেফারেন্স আসবে আর কি। তো সেটাই আর কি।
That's a very good point actually. You have to know people to get to know what they do. Okay, so Mohit, over to you. So I understand you work for a HVAC company.
HVAC company.
Right, but do you have multidisciplinary engineers working in the company or with you, under you?
Yes, so currently my company Von Air is a full service HVAC consulting company. So we do from design to all the way to manufacturing. So in my company, the engineering design team, or we call them fabrication design team, is multidisciplinary. So we have architects there. We have a couple of graduates from building science. We do have civil engineers and mechanical engineers already. So we have 4 disciplines there working.
And what is the typical hiring procedures in those positions?
So typical hiring procedure is, a lot of the time we do hire fresh graduates. So we do have a collaborative partnership with University of Waterloo. So we do get fresh graduates that have a very good academic record from those universities. At the same time, sometimes we also do hire mid-level career professionals as well. So that could be a mid-level designer or a senior designer, intermediate designer. For those job applications, we usually post it through all the job boards like LinkedIn, Indeed, and those kind of stuff. And we go through regular hiring process. So we do have in-house HR department that takes care of the hiring. So we usually do not go with agency recruiting. So I would say keep an eye on the company website, keep an eye on the job boards, and then apply directly.
Okay, great. If I again coming back, if there is engineering position in TDSB, I'm assuming there are many other places where actually engineers can work. For example, banks and stuff. But going back to your organization, do you see that is a career that people can take? So I start with a fresh graduate position or entry-level position, then I climb up, things like that?
Definitely. You can take TDSB as your career opportunity, career building opportunity. তবে unofficially আমি যেটা বলবো, stuck at mid level, don't go upper level. গভর্নমেন্ট জবে এখানকার গভর্নমেন্ট জব নট লাইক বাংলাদেশ। এখানে যত হায়ার পজিশনে যাওয়া হবে তত পাবলিক ডিলিংস আসবে, তত পাবলিক রেসপন্সিবিলিটি আসবে। কোনো একটা ক্রিটিক্যাল কমপ্লেইন মে এন্ড আপ ইউর ক্যারিয়ার, ডুম ইউর ক্যারিয়ার, ইউ উইল থ্রোন আপ মেবি ইন দ্য জেল। সো বেটার টু স্টার্ট এট দ্য মিড লেভেল, ডোন্ট গো টু হায়ার লেভেল। সো হ্যাঁ, এখানে sorry, questionটা আরেকবার, আমি একটু ডিস্ট্রাক্ট হয়ে গেছি।
That's fine. Well, I think we got the answer. That's totally fine. You answered it. Again, it's kind of like sounding same as what our previous speaker said. Tailor yourself, know yourself, don't oversell yourself, and don't try to take anything that you can handle. Okay, so this is really wonderful. So my question would be in terms of, like, let's say I want to come to you and I want to ask you a job. How that would offend you? So in other words, you must hear that every day, that okay, can I use your references, and is there any possession? So what would, if you were that person that people are reaching out, what bothers you? that, like when people say that, can I have your email address, things like that. What are the things you say that bother you, and I will take that as a not to do list.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a very good question, because a lot of the times I get that request through different social media or even directly in my phone. So what kind of bothers me is when people contact me directly without doing any homework or doing any background work, right? So directly asking that, okay, can you refer me for this job, as the previous presenters mentioned. So those are sometimes offensive, but I do really like those candidates who have done some of the homeworks and come with specific questions or specific inquiries. For example, that I have seen your company, I know about your product, I know about this role, this is my skill set, can we talk further, how can I be a good fit for this role? Those are the candidates that I want to talk every day, every hour.
This is wonderful, and I think we will get more of this from them, more of some advices from them during our lunch sessions. I really want to thank you both for your time. It is wonderful to have you and getting to know you about your career and the position job scopes that around you. I would like to give our gratitude to both our speakers.
আমি একটু ব্রেক নিচ্ছি এখানে আমাদের এই প্রোগ্রামটা করার পিছনে যাদের অবদান উল্লেখ না করলে এটা আসলে অবিচার করা হবে আমাদেরকে সর্বাত্মক সহযোগিতা করেছেন আমাদের বিসিএল বনলতা কনসাল্টিং লিমিটেড আমাদের আরেকজন হচ্ছেন আমাদের একজন টেকনোভিশন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কনসাল্টিং কোম্পানি আপনার সাইদ ভাই আর বনলতার সিইও আমাদের আলী ভাই এবং আমাদের অ্যামাজন ইমিগ্রেশন কনসাল্টিং মুরাদ ভাই। তো আমি ওদেরকে রিকোয়েস্ট করব সবাই একটা অ্যাপ্লজ দেওয়ার জন্য, যে তাদেরকে অ্যাকনলেজ করার জন্য। ওদের সাহায্য ছাড়া আসলে to organize this type of event is a lot of cost involved. So আমরা যারা এখানে আমাদের যে টেকনোভিশন কোম্পানি আছেন ওরা মেইনলি কাজ করে আপনার মেকানিক্যাল অ্যান্ড ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ডিজাইন নিয়ে। আপনাদের যদি কোনো ধরনের সাহায্য সহযোগিতা লাগে প্লিজ কালেক্ট দেয়ার বিজনেস brochure and reach out to them, and I'm sure you'll get the committed services from them. এবং বনলতা কনসাল্টিং সার্ভিসেস আলী ভাই very committed, both of them. এবং আমাদের ইমিগ্রেশন কনসালটেন্ট ইজ ভেরি ফেমাস আমাদের মুরাদ ভাই। আপনাদের যদি কোনো সহযোগিতা লাগে এবং অ্যাডভাইস লাগে প্লিজ তারা যাতে আমাদের এই যে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কমিউনিটিকে হেল্প করতেছে আমরা উচিত তাদের দিকে স্টেপ আপ করা। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে। এই মুহূর্তে আমি অনুরোধ করব আমাদের যে দুজন স্পিকার আপনার জান্নাতুল্লাহ মুহিত হাসিব তাকে ক্রেস্ট প্রদান করবেন আমাদের বর্তমান বুয়েট অ্যালামনাই প্রেসিডেন্ট আব্দুল সালাম ভাই। আমি অনুরোধ করব আব্দুল সালাম ভাইকে মঞ্চে এসে তার ক্রেস্টটি হ্যান্ড ওভার করার জন্য। ধন্যবাদ আব্দুল সালাম ভাইকে। আমি এই পর্বে অনুরোধ করব আমাদের আরেকজন মাসুদ চৌধুরী ভাইকে কেস প্রদান করার জন্য। আমাদের অ্যানাদার স্পিকার শেখ ইফতেখার উদ্দিন, প্লিজ। আবারও রিকমেন্ড করছি এখানে আমি জানি অনেকেই গ্রাজুয়েট আছে, মেকানিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং যারা আছেন তাদেরকে অনুরোধ করবো তারা যেন আপনার নাম এন্ট্রি করে রেজিস্ট্রেশন বোর্ডে। যদি কেউ 1-to-1 মেন্টরদের সাথে কথা বলার জন্য they have to write down their name, who want to sit down 1-to-1 mentoring. In the corner there is a corner we arrange mentor advice 1-to-1 session. So we have a mechanical session, electrical session, IT session, as well as civil engineering session and federal job sessions. So I request you, all the students, all graduates, they would like to request to put their name and to request who want their mentee to talk to them. Thank you so much.
That was our Director of Admin, Babu Marubhai. Give him a round of applause, please. Okay, let's move on to our next presenter. We know a lot of our engineers actually work into IT sector, and IT sector not only blooming, but it not only is blooming, it bloomed, and it's going to bloom for quite a while, I think, right? So that's what we have, our next presenter. Please let me just introduce you to our next presenter in a. So we have Selim Hassan. He is a director at GFL. We know it's an environmental company. Most of your garbage is taken by them, so give them a big thank you. He has over 16 years of experience in IT and cybersecurity, and he also his expertise are all around telecommunication, finance, and related services. And he worked into this IT sector, as I mentioned, has over 16 years. So we want to go directly go to his presentation. Let me see if I have his presentation up here, and then over to you. Then thanks for coming here.
Thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for having me here today. সবাই কেমন আছেন? আজকে ওয়েদারটা খুব সুন্দর, মানে ফ্যামিলি নিয়ে ঘোরার মতো ওয়েদার। সবাই কি ঠিকমতো শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? So before we start, let's do a quick poll. How many of you have background in IT or computer science? A lot of you. And anybody wants to transition your career from another technology background to IT or cybersecurity? Yes. Okay, good. Then this session may be a helpful session for you, but again, so this is not just a conference or session, it is also a networking session. Even after this session, you can connect with me. I will definitely try to help you. Okay, so I have two agendas for this session today. Agenda one is I want to share my experience in Canada, my journey to Canada. Basically, I moved in Canada in 2016, but my journey started 2 years ago in 2014. So how it was started in 2014? I did apply for FSW program in 2014, and since then, I was looking into Canadian job market. After graduating in 2008, I joined Grameenphone in the same year. I did work for Grameenphone for about 5 years, and then I applied as a telco engineer in FSW program in 2014. But I am looking for the job market in Canada. Though I did work for 5 years for Grameenphone, but I did work in different departments in different sectors. I did work as a voice engineer, I did work as a data engineer, I also did work as a core network engineer. So I have exposure in different areas, and I also did manage and deliver many of the projects. So I was a PMP since 2012, so I also have background in project management and the project manager, something like that. So after my application, first I was looking into the telco job opportunity in Canada. I found telco is average. There are job opportunities in telco, but only few companies are there. And the salary and compensation package are average. Not bad, but it was not that great. Then I also looked into the project management job market, project management related role like project coordinator, project manager, program manager, and I found project manager is little better than telco. Compensation and salary package are also good, but to work as a project manager or program manager in Canada for a newcomer is very challenging, because you need either Canadian experience or Canadian degree or North American degree to become a project manager in Canada. So that was definitely a challenging role for me, though I had PMP and enough project management experience. Then I looked into the cybersecurity job market in Canada. I found this is great. There is a lot of skill shortage. There is a lot of roles open, but expertise are always in shortage in cybersecurity. And compensation and salary package is better than any other sectors, any other engineering sectors, if you have the right skill. Then I decided I should look into cybersecurity, because I had a little bit exposure about working in the network security, but I did not work directly in the cybersecurity. So since then, I started to work with our Grameenphone information security team. At that time, we had a very small team. We had, I think, 4 or 5 members in the cybersecurity team. They were just doing the governance, risk, and compliance thing. They are not doing the full-fledged cybersecurity activities. But I had an opportunity to work with them, learn some things from them, and I also did some certification in cybersecurity and IT before I moved into Canada. When I moved into Canada in 2016, because I had enough experience in telco, I did update my resume, which is telco specific. I started to apply in the telecom engineering role. I was not getting enough call. First month, I did not get any call. Second month, I only got one call from telco. It was TELUS. I had the second interview and third interview, but unfortunately, I did not get the job. So from the second month, I thought I have to really work in the cyber security. I also applied for the Masters in Cybersecurity program in UIT, which is now in Oshawa Tech University. But I was also applying for the jobs in cybersecurity. In the first month, I got 3 or 4 calls. I had first interview for 2 jobs and second interview for 2 other jobs, but I did not get the job in the second month as well. Same third month, I had multiple interviews, but I was not getting job. It was because, again, I did not have direct exposure in cybersecurity. I was transitioning from telco to cybersecurity. I had theoretical knowledge, but I didn't have practical knowledge. But I was getting enough job calls, then I thought definitely I'll get the job because there are so many calls. I'm getting calls every week, pretty much every week. So I did not look for any cyberball job. I didn't apply for any cyberball job because I was thinking I'll get the job because I'm getting enough job call, I'm getting enough interviews. So I had the confidence in me. And the third month, I got one job. And I also got the admission for the master's program. Actually, it was 1 week difference. First, I got the admission in master's program, and the next week I got the job. It was a senior role and permanent job, but it was in Halifax. So I was in hesitant whether I should move to Halifax for the job or not. But after some discussion with my family, I moved into Halifax. And it was for Morgan Stanley, where I got the job as a senior cybersecurity consultant. I did work for them for more than a year, and then I switched my job to a different role, to a senior role, with high compensation and salary package. It was, I remember it was 50% raise for me. So I was really happy for that. And I moved into Toronto again. I did work for Hudson's Bay Company for about 3 years, and then I switched to another senior role. And I did work for 1 year for Element Fleet Management as a security architect. And then I moved to another senior role. And I did work for them for about 2 years. And then I moved to another senior role, which is now GFL Environmental. You know, GFL Environmental is one of the 4th largest environmental organization in North America. So here I'm working as a director for information security architecture. I'm leading a small team, but it's a mighty team. So that was basically my journey in Canada and how I have transitioned my career from telco to cybersecurity. But one of the best decisions I made when I was in hesitant whether I should move to Halifax or I should stay here, do the master's, then get into the job market. The best decision I had made was to move to Halifax because that job experience really helped me. It did help me better than my master's. And I also have some cybersecurity and IT related certification. Pretty much you name it, I have earned pretty much all of them, like CISSP, CCSP, AWS security, Azure security, ITIL, PMP, and I think a few more. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Sure. So that was the first part of my presentation, and I'll move to the second part. And there is a question and answering session. I can also answer questions if you have any. So this second part is basically telling about the job opportunities in IT and cybersecurity. As I said, IT and cybersecurity are still booming. There is a lot of opportunities out there. It's up to you how to grab opportunities. If you have the right skill, you will definitely have a job in IT and cybersecurity. And cybersecurity is now needed pretty much everywhere. IT is needed. So there is a huge shortage in cybersecurity. Most of the time, we do not see the right candidate with the right skill. So if you have the right skill, you will have a job with better compensation package. So governments like Ontario government, Alberta government, they are investing heavily in their infrastructure development and the transformation of their infrastructure. So there is a huge demand for the roles like cloud engineers. Pretty much governments and all private companies are moving to cloud. So there is a huge demand for the cloud engineers and the cloud security. There is also demands for DevOps specialists, like development and operations specialists. And also huge demand for data analysts. Data analysts is still a new sector, but it is still a booming sector. And cybersecurity analysts. Cybersecurity analysts are the entry-level positions. So as I said, cybersecurity was not needed 10 years ago. It is now needed more than ever. So if you have a little bit skill, there is a job for the entry level and the intermediate level. But there is also jobs for threat hunters, security engineers, as well as security architects. So if you have the right skill, there is a demand in the market. I'm not actually giving an approximate number, but there is 25,000 open roles in this year to be filled in cybersecurity. So cybersecurity alone have 25,000 open roles right now. And some of the career paths you can choose, and you can also upgrade your skill if you want to move to cybersecurity. If you are working as a desktop engineer or developer or compliance and IT audit, you can move your skill to cybersecurity. You can transition your career to cybersecurity. For example, if you're working as a help desk or network admin, you can start entry-level job in cybersecurity like security analyst. If you're working as a software developer, you can start working as a DevSecOps engineers or app security engineers. If you're working in compliance and IT audit, you can move your career into risk management, governance, risk and compliance, as well as security architecture related role. So some of the entry-level certifications you can earn. Again, so in Canada, there is a huge demand for experience. If you do not have enough experience, so how can you fill that gap? You can fill that gap by earning some certifications in IT and cybersecurity. So some of the entry-level certifications are CompTIA A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus. So these are the entry-level certificates, and you can easily get them. And there is some intermediate level certification like IC Square, CC, like Certified in Cybersecurity, SSCP. And there are some advanced level certifications you can earn like CSSP, CCSP, CISM, which is pretty much needed for managers and architects. And there are some hands-on certificates like Certified Ethical Hacker, OSCP. You can gain hands-on experience by earning these certifications. There is a huge demand for the pen tester in the market. And pretty much, as I said, there is some cloud-related certification. You can learn cloud-related skills. There is huge demand in the market for cloud engineers and cloud security engineers. And finally, I would say soft skills are also equally important in Canada to get a good job. So focus on the soft skill as well. So the next is how to break in. So how to get a job. Getting a first job in Canada is really difficult. So when you have the first job, second job is not getting that difficult. Some people will say reference is needed. Yes, reference is needed, but mentorship as well as self-study, these are equally important. Reference can give you a first job, but if you want to move your career to the upper level, you need to enhance your skill, you need to enhance your soft skill, you need to enhance your hard skill, you need to enhance your coordination skill and the collaboration skills. So how to start? You can start small. You can start as an internship for a program or the volunteer projects, or even you can build your portfolio on GitHub or blogs. You can leverage some of the platform like LinkedIn, Indeed, Canadian job boards for your job. You can also networking session like this is one of the networking sessions. There are so many networking sessions happen in Toronto every year. So one of the popular networking session is the sector, Security Education Center in Toronto. Pretty much every year it happens at the time around September, October. But this is one of the biggest sessions happens every year in Toronto. Pretty much, I think last year around 15,000 people joined in that session. It happened in the Metro Toronto Convention Center. And finally, I would say find a mentor. A mentor is better than a reference. Because reference is just one-time help, but a mentor can help you for the lifetime. Mentorship can change your career for the lifetime. So, yeah, so I would say if you don't have a mentor, you can find a mentor. Mentorship can be really a helpful thing for you to get a first job, to move your career to the upper level. And I think, yeah, that's it pretty much. Yeah, and the practical knowledge is important. To work in cybersecurity, you can earn practical knowledge by yourself. For example, you can have an account in AWS, Azure. You can earn experience by yourself. You do not need to work for a company to earn that experience. Same with the cybersecurity. So you can earn this experience yourself, and there is a huge demand in the job market. If you have the right skill, you are needed. Yeah, so that's secondly. So there are few takeaways. Canada needs IT and cyber talent now more than ever. Like choose a path. So I mean, IT is now huge. Cyber security is also huge. But you have to choose your path. Like so, which way you want to move. You can choose a technology path, or you can choose risk management, or you can choose the cloud, or you can choose the coding. So you have to choose your specific sector. Then you can jump on the sector and achieve your goal. And that's it. So there are some resources to explore. You can explore this resource. Like so, try Hack Me, Hack the Box. You can gain some practical knowledge by exploring this resource. Cybery, Microsoft Learn, LinkedIn Learning. These are also good resources to learn IT and cybersecurity skills. And that's all for today. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer even after this session. Thank you.
Thank you. It was really informative, and we really appreciate your time. And also what he mentioned that he is open for mentoring, and he's around in here till lunch. So anyone who wants to, if we have the question, you have to hold until the lunch, if you don't mind. So we want to thank our respective presenter, and who do we have?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Shalim. I would like to Professor Anwar to give the praise to our speaker. Please come forward, Professor Anwar. He is the professor of Ryerson University and probably Pro-VC of Ryerson University. Okay, give the things.
He's also a speaker to this afternoon. Okay, so let's move to our last panel before the food. So that should be quick and interesting. Okay, let me introduce our next panelist. We do have Lipika Shaha. She is the manager at Region of Municipality of Durham. She is actually, she has her career built on expertise working in private and public sector in waste management, and getting to know her is a pleasure, and we have worked together in projects in different side of the table. Right, so thanks Lipika for taking the time to be with us. We also have in our panel, Khalid Chaudhry. Khalid Chaudhry is a transportation professional. He is a licensed engineer working with the City of Toronto over 11 years, and he graduated from Khulna University of Engineering and Technology, and he has his master's degree earned from Memorial University of Newfoundland. Thank you so much again, Khalid, for taking the time to be with us. It's actually lovely to talk to you both. And this session is also very interesting because we are going to talk something different, what we haven't talked so far since morning. So I want to start with Lipika because knowing you, that you have experience working in private sector and public sector. So tell me, what is the basic difference in terms of getting the job in private sector?
If I start from the new graduate perspective or new immigrant perspective, it's a different route because I think who are the new immigrants or the new graduates? New graduates should look for student opportunities that are open in the region or in the municipalities, and the new immigrant, they should look for those opportunities where, say for example, Durham District School Board, they partner with the new immigrant program and they have some opportunities to hook up in the municipality sector. So these are two important sectors to think of first. For those who already have some experience in the private sector or so, definitely look for a job. There are 4 stages of hiring, of the hiring process. The first one is definitely your resume and the cover letter. Do please make sure that your resume is the first selling point. So make sure that your resume reflects all of the experiences that is outlined in the job requirement. There are first two things is that the certification and the experience. So if you see that there is specific certification is outlined in the job requirements, you need to make sure that you have that experience or that certificate. Without that one, it is difficult to get into that sector. But it is not the end. If you do not get in, check why you didn't get in or how you can get in, because maybe you can look for the next opportunities when it comes up. So first is the resume, and the second is the technical exam. Those I believe that most of the people are engineers here. So the second step is the technical exam. You have to make sure that you get 70% pass mark. The third one is behavioral based interview. So I think in the municipalities, this step is very, very important, because we do hire people based on the behavioral based responses, because experience is something that you can or region can train, but the behavioral based one is the one that you bring to the workplace. So it's extremely important, and all of the passing criteria is 70%. So after these three steps actually comes to the reference. So I have experiences, I get asked many questions from many people that, can you refer me for this job? No, because that's the last step. So it is, the reference comes the last, yes, the reference may help. And you definitely have few references in this country when you come in school or in colleges, but that is the very, very last step in the region or in the municipalities to get into the job. So I would say the summary is that please sell yourself through your resume first. That's how you get hooked into the second step, and that can take you to the last step.
Right. So we want to walk through all the processes, but what the basic difference, and I think I'm quoting you when we were doing the mock-up session, that the difference between public sector job search and private sector job search is that in public sector, reference comes first. So you have to know people, and then they get referred, and then you get an interview. And in private sector, reference comes last. So I want to move to Khalid. So Khalid, what is, especially with the City of Toronto's experience, can you point down, please, the steps of the job search? Because anybody can go Google and find the job position in municipalities, the job position in the City of Toronto. But what are the steps? I think MDP kind of outlined it, but can you narrow them down a little?
So one of the key things, and one of the previous speaker mentioned about is have to have a long-term plan, right? Don't go to somebody you know work in City of Toronto when there is a job posting, say, hey, there is a job posting, can you help me? Don't do that, that's not going to help. You should have at least a yearly plan or 6-month plan that, yes, the municipality is something I'm interested, what is my plan? How I'm going to expand the network? Come in a session like this, right? And know how the process works in the municipality. So municipality, the fastest step is the screening process. Lipika already mentioned the cover letter and resume. In the last 2 years, I had almost 30 people in the City of Toronto. So I screened probably 700-800 resume. And I threw out probably about 100 or 50 resume because they put something incorrect in their cover letter or resume. They just copy and paste. I'm not going to waste my time to look into that, right? So be attentive to what you're submitting to the municipality. Work with your networking mentor, peer, to see how you can improve your opportunities. What should you write in your resume? Like, should be 1-page resume, 3-page resume? What should be the keyword? Municipality, look for it. And in the cover letter, what should be your emphasis? How you can write it to make sure the hiring manager getting or paying attention to your cover letter and resume. So that's the fastest step, getting through this screening, the biggest difficult task. I think many of you can agree that, oh, I submitted like 200 applications to the municipality, nobody called me. Go and back, see why. Maybe something is lacking in this cover letter and resume. The second thing is, once you get through that process, then come the assessment process. Be it an interview, be it a presentation, be it a technical exam. Usually in the City of Toronto, the pass mark is 70. So on a typical unionist position, if you write a technical exam, not the technical exam, written exam, You have to get 70% before you can get a call for the interview. If you go to the interview, you have to get at least 70% to get a reference check. So that's the bare minimum for any union position. If you don't hit that 70%, you will not get a call. And then come the reference process.
Okay, nice. Lipika, is it similar to the Durham region?
That is similar to the Durham region.
So I want to ask something about that. You mentioned that there are technical exams and presentation. So how technical are they?
Those are fairly technical.
Fairly technical, so I have to know my craft.
Yes, like say for example, you're applying for a project manager role. So if the position is in environment or so, you do need to know all of the UCA, EA, ESR regulations. There will be fairly 50% of questions on that one. And based on the sector, you will be asked other questions. Say for example, if it is NRB graduation or so, you will be asked at least 6, 7 or 8 80 questions. If this is EFW or energy from waste or some other related, then you will be asked. So, which means full 100% is technical.
So, what about the presentation? Like how that goes?
So, for an entry-level job, the presentation is not a typical process. For engineering technologist or civil engineering technologist, something like those, the presentation usually comes when you are looking for a management position, either supervisor, project manager, project lead, or senior project manager like myself. Usually it's a very small presentation, about 10 to 15 minutes. They're going to give you the topics up front. They're going to give you time to 3 to 4 days to prepare it. And then you have to submit it before the interview process, about a week or a couple of days ahead. So the hiring manager have a chance to go and review those. And then you have to be very key and conscious about what you're presenting on those topics. Right? They're going to give you topics. You have only 10 minutes to present itself. Typically, it's a broader concept. So if you're a supervisor, how to improve your team efficiency, how you want to run the team, those kind of broad ideology they want to see.
Okay, great. Yeah.
I wanted to add us the technical exam, you have the opportunity to use computer, but you are signing the agreement that you will not be cheating. But some people do, they have, because it is, offsite, like we just give the questions and you have 50 minutes to respond or 2.5 hours to respond. So some people do, I do believe that some people can cheat because they can ask the ChatGPT, Siri, whatever. Please make sure that we know, or the HR people know when it is starting test from the site, because we do put the questions that is easy to Google, and we know how the responses are put in the question paper, and we see that it's exactly copy and paste from the Google. So it's another thing to note.
One of those, a quick follow-up. I think Faisal mentioned it at the beginning, that fake it until you make it, right? So you have to be genuine and showing your actual knowledge through this assessment process. Don't just go ChatGPT and write, okay, what the answer of it and copy and paste. That's not going to work.
Be true to yourself. Okay, so on that note, I can't cheat, but can I contact the project hiring manager? Is
Yes,
that
you
something
do.
comes?
Yes,
okay,
you can.
So tell me about it.
So,
And when do I contact? Sorry, when do I contact?
Oh, it's not that when the job is posted. You can always contact the hiring manager. Always. So, for example, I'm the hiring manager, and in the region, actually, rather than HR, the hiring manager, the department manager is the hiring manager, plays the most important role. So, I'm not hiring. So, for example, I'm not hiring now. But if someone asks me or reaches out to me over the LinkedIn and asks me the question, hey, do you have any opportunity to open? Maybe I do not have, but you ask me today and maybe tomorrow some opportunities come up. Then I can tell you, hey, there is opportunity open. You can feel free and go apply there. So.
Yeah. So you also appreciate contacting you?
Yes. So it's one of the key thing, I think, in our community. We are very fearful of communicating those before the job application. Most of the Canadian hiring managers do appreciate it because you are showing your proactiveness, you are showing something different. So as a hiring manager, when I'm reviewing 400 resume, whatever stand out is going to help you. So if you go in whatever process to stand yourself out, I'm going to remember, hey, if I contacted me 2 weeks ago via LinkedIn, let's have a second look at her resume to see if I can screen her in, right?
Can I cheat there? Can I ask the project hiring manager that what are the question would be? So what level of interaction I should limit myself to be known as like a scary?
So the typical thing you can ask is, hey, I'm interested about your group, about this role. Can you tell me what you're looking for in this position? That's a very typical question you can ask. Based on the hiring manager, sometimes they're going to upfront give you a lot of information that are not available to the public website. I'm going to give you a very recent example from mine. There was a job posting for a senior manager within the city of Toronto. So I contacted the director. The job posting was for 3 positions. And he told me on the email, on a very big email, that we are going to hire 10 more people because we have approved funding for the next 10 years. So these are not the end of the day. We're going to pool the people and we're going to slowly interview them. So those are insider information you can always possibly get through the hiring manager.
Oh, nice. This is actually, I'm hoping that people are taking notes. This is really good information. And also, I wasn't aware that in city and municipal or local jobs, we actually can contact the hiring manager directly. So on that, after that process, I presented
one quick note here. So if you go to City of Toronto job posting, you're not going to see any name, right? It's going to just say the date and everything. That's where the network comes. So if you are connected with me, say via LinkedIn and say, hey, Khalid bhai, there is a job posting there. Can you give me some insider information? I have no problem to give you the contact of the hiring manager and tell them what the position entails and some other details, and then you can make those communications to the hiring manager. Hey, I was referred by my peer, by mentor, by networking, and I want to know some more details about this job.
So I think the people would then appreciate that they came to this event so that they can connect to you guys. Okay, so tell me something about the reference. Who should be my references?
So I believe that we don't give references of our husbands or sons or friends or so. I mean, not friends, I mean, these people, I mean, family people. But you do have references from your previous workplace, and that is highly appreciated. Because then we can know that how he was in his previous works, and I believe that the City of Toronto is the same thing.
So City of Toronto has some specific policy about the reference. So ideally, they're looking your first reference to your current manager or supervisor. And then second, you at least have to provide 2 references. The second reference can be your work colleague, your academic supervisor or whatever. There is a caveat here though. If you're working in an office right now and for whatever reason you don't want to disclose to your supervisor that you're actively looking for a job, you can tell the HR, hey, I have a problem. I cannot provide my current supervisor name as a reference. Can I put somebody else? That is acceptable. HR usually accepts.
That was my next question. You already answered. Yes.
I think on this note, I should mention that when I got this job, I also got the job in City of Toronto. And when I was asked to provide references, I literally told the HR, either I lose the job if you don't give me the job. So which one you want? And I cannot give the reference, current reference. So then he said, it's okay. Mm-hmm. So there is exception too.
Okay, nice. Good
one other thing, the municipality and the region, they're very accommodating. Okay. I'll give you one example. I think the participant in this room, he was screened through in one of my job posting, but he did not appear for the written test because there is a death in the family. Okay. And he just did not appear. But if you had been contact the HR, hey, I have a death in the family, can I do this test 2 weeks later? It would have been 100% acceptable through the city process.
Okay, so going back to, I think we mostly understand the process, and we do appreciate your feedback on that. I want to go to some other avenue of local or municipal government job. I scare them because I feel like you get stuck there. So in public sector, mostly you work in some company 2 years in a position, you roam around into other companies, you go to a senior position role. You work there for 4 years, you go to a lead position role in other companies. So there are a lot of room to expand throughout the whole industry. But what happens in the municipality? Do you, when you start with a position, do you get stuck there?
So I can tell a little bit about my journey. I get into the City of Toronto as an intern student. I did 2 co-op, then I became a ETT3, which is Engineering Technologist 3, which is the basic entry-level position. And between that to ETT1, I probably applied for 200 jobs internally. It doesn't cost me money, right? Whatever I feel I can apply, I did apply. And it took me 200 applications to get into my next position, which was a project lead. Then I became a supervisor, and then I jumped into my current position as a senior project manager. So if you have desire to go up, if you work on your skill upgradation, your networking, all these things we discussed since this morning, there are a lot of opportunity to move up.
Would you echo, Lipika?
Yes. So region have succession planning, which means whenever you are in and whenever the next position is opening up, you are the one first to be chosen or to apply. If we get the, appropriate candidate from internally, which we appreciate because we do have succession planning, we appreciate that. If we do not have the candidate internally, then we go for external posting. Tomorrow question যেটা হচ্ছে যে stuck upwise, I think it actually আমার মনে হয় যে I think many of the people think that we are stuck in the position when we get into municipal. আমার মনে হয় এটা it's completely wrong because when you get into the municipalities or the cities, you are actually open to all of the internal opportunities. So now, will you move up or laterally? It's up to you. So, like, make yourself to move towards the upper position. Say, for example, for me, I joined as a project manager, and after 4 months, my manager got promoted to a director role. So the position was
promoted to manager.
Okay. Definitely, there was some external candidate, but I got the good marks. So I get in. So by saying I mean that actually we are not stuck. I do hear a lot of times that when you are getting to the city, you are stuck. No.
So there are career growth and job satisfaction, of course, there, besides all the good packages that you guys
Absolutely,
get.
Yes.
That's good to hear. Any additional final remarks that you want to put here?
I would say all the good things that are discussed since this morning. Have a good networking, work on your skill upgradation. And one of the participants, the panel member, Rajiv in the back, I was talking with him. As a Bangladeshi, one of our key drawbacks what I noticed over there in the professional career, we don't able to sell ourselves. This is one of our biggest shortcomings. We always say, the Indian people, the white people, how they're getting there without a degree. Most of the people have like just a university or college degree, right? The reason is, if they do this much of work, they can tell about this much of thing. And if we do this much of work and we can tell about this. So if you cannot convey what you're doing to your manager, to your supervisor, to your peer, how are they going to know? Right? You're just a workhorse doing your work 9 to 5, that's it. So know what you're doing and how you're able to communicate that. Always work on some skill upgradation. And one of the key examples I'm going to tell you is the AI, right? It's a very new tool. I'm close to 50 now. But for the last 2 years, I work on so many things on the AI. I can claim that I'm an AI expert right now. Not so much within my peer, because they don't know this is something our kids going to learn, right? I talked with my daughter, who is a grade 10 student, and tried to teach her the AI. She said, no, I'm not going to learn it because I don't need it. I said, the next 5 years, it's going to dynamically shape the work environment, and you have to know all these things to keep above the water, keep above the peers.
Right. I got 2 more minutes. Over to you, Lipika, your final words.
My final word, if there is any newcomer, new immigrant, learn the technique of selling ourselves or selling yourself. It's extremely important. Jeta Khalifa already mentioned Kolo. We actually know a lot, but we can't really speak, especially when how to sell to the hiring manager. I think this is the most important technique to learn. It's, more than the experience that you have. You may have the knowledge, you may have some experience. You can train yourself, or in some cases, company also trains you a lot. Company pays a lot to train people, the municipalities, also the private companies. So learn the technique of sell yourself. That is your first starting point to get into any job sector. That's it.
One quick thing, sorry, I forgot to mention it. Be always positive. This is very common for immigrants to stuck somewhere in some survival jobs and lost the hope. We have a lot of immigrants coming from a lot of good academic and experienced background doing survival job here because they're thinking stuck and not thinking positively to going somewhere from there. So mindset, which was discussed in the morning, also extremely important, to always think positively that, hey, yeah, this is a temporary situation I'm in, but I'm going to work towards it to get out from here.
About the last key topic, you never think that I'm too old to get a job in the municipalities. Never think that. The hiring for us, there is no age limit. 55, 60, 61, 62, don't think of that. If you think you are fit for that role, please apply.
Great. Thank you so much, both. Thanks for your time. It was wonderful. And I think this is one of the lovely sessions that we had. Would you not agree? Thank you. And we want to appreciate our speakers for their time and all the information that they shared. Please.
Thank you so much all the audience for listening the nice conversations. I hope a lot of job seeker students or graduate people will get proper guidance from them. And thank you so much for Lipika Shah and also Khaled Chaudhary for your nice presentations. However, I would like to request our advisory committee member Niman Jahangir to give a request to Lipika Shah. Please have a round of applause for Lipika Shah. Thank you so much. ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে। এই পর্বে আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করবো আমাদের একজন স্পিকার খালেদ চৌধুরীকে প্রদান করবেন, আমাদের কোয়েট অ্যালামনাই প্রেসিডেন্ট ফারুক চৌধুরীকে মঞ্চে আসার জন্য ধন্যবাদ। ধন্যবাদ ফারুক ভাইকে, ফারুক হোসেন সরি শেখ সরি থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ শেখ ফারুক হোসেনকে ধন্যবাদ ফর গিভিং দ্য ক্রেডিট টু খালেদ চৌধুরী। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। এই পরে আমরা খুবই অল্প সময়ের ভিতরে আমরা আমাদের লাঞ্চ পর্বে চলে যাব। আবার লাঞ্চের পরে আমাদের আরও কয়েকটা সেগমেন্ট আছে, আমাদের ফেডারেল জব একটা সেশন আছে এবং আমাদের মিউনিসিপাল জবের একটা সেশন আছে। আর এবং আমাদের যে আজকের যে চিফ গেস্ট আমাদের ডলি বেগম, উনি কিছুক্ষণের ভিতরে আমাদের সাথে আসবেন। যাদের কথা না বললে না আজকে এই প্রোগ্রামটা সাকসেসফুলি করার জন্য যাদের সবচেয়ে বড় অবদান, আমাদের যে পাওয়ার স্পন্সর আমাদের টেকনোভিশন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং, which is the mechanical and electrical design, আমাদের সিইও এন্ড প্রেসিডেন্ট সাইদ ভাইকে, সাইদ ভাইকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ আমাদেরকে কন্ট্রিবিউট করার জন্য। এবং সেই সাথে আমাদের আরেকজন বিসিএল বনলতা কনসাল্টিং লিমিটেডের সিইও আমাদের আলী হোসেন ভাইকে ধন্যবাদ। এবং আমাদের ইমিগ্রেন্ট কনসালট্যান্ট আমাদের মুরাদ ভাইকে অনেক ধন্যবাদ আমাদেরকে সহযোগিতা করার জন্য, ইভেন্ট করার জন্য। আমি এই পর্বে আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করব আমাদের যে পাওয়ার স্পন্সর সাইদ ভাইকে কিছু কথা বলার জন্য।
জি থ্যাংক ইউ। আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আমি বাংলায় বলি, এখানে সবাই তো আমরা এখানে বাংলাদেশি, যদি কোনো অবজেকশন না থাকে। তো আমি সিইও অ্যান্ড প্রেসিডেন্ট ফ্রম টেকনোভিশন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং। আমরা ইলেকট্রিক্যাল মেকানিক্যাল ডিজাইন করি, কনসাল্টিং। আমরা আমাদের কমিউনিটিতে এবং বাইরের কমিউনিটিতে বিভিন্ন আর্কিটেক্টের সাথে আমরা কাজ করি। আমাদের আরও সাপোর্ট আছে, যেটা হচ্ছে আমরা ইনস্টলেশনও করে থাকি, এইচভ্যাক, আপনার বয়লার ইনস্টলেশন, ফার্নেস, এসি, এগুলো ইনস্টলেশন করে থাকি। তো আমাদের মূলত সেটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা ডিজাইন সার্ভিস, রেজিডেন্সিয়াল, মেকানিক্যাল এগুলো ডিজাইন করে থাকি। তো আপনাদের আপনারা এখানে আছেন আমাদের ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কমিউনিটিতে, আপনাদের যদি কোনো হেল্প লাগে প্লিজ আমাদেরকে জানাবেন। উই উড বি হিয়ার ফর টু হেল্প ইউ ইনশাআল্লাহ। থ্যাংক ইউ।
ধন্যবাদ সাইদ ভাইকে। আপনার ওয়ান্স এগেন আবারও একটা আমি রিকোয়েস্ট করবো সবাইকে করতালি দিয়ে নাকি অভিনন্দন জানানোর জন্য আমাদের টেকনোভিশন কোম্পানিকে, তাদের সর্বাত্মক সাকসেস আমরা আশা করি। ধন্যবাদ। এই পর্বে আমি অনুরোধ করবো আমাদের আরেকজন পাওয়ার স্পন্সর ডিসিএল বনলতা কনসাল্টিং লিমিটেড, সিইও আমাদের বড় ভাই আলী হোসেন ভাই, ডক্টর আলী হোসেন ভাইকে কিছু কথা বলার জন্য ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ মারুফ। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। এখানে আসার জন্য। সো আমি মোহাম্মদ আলী হোসেন, আমি বিসিএল বনলতা কনসালটেন্ট লিমিটেডের সিইও। সো আমরা যে কাজগুলো করে থাকি আমরা আমাদের কমিউনিটির জন্য, সেটা হলো ডিজাইন, বিল্ডিং ডিজাইন, কাস্টম হাউস, স্পেশালি কাস্টম হাউস ডিজাইন অ্যান্ড পারমিশন, কোয়ালিটি ইন্সপেকশন এবং প্রজেক্ট ম্যানেজমেন্ট। অলসো আমরা ডিজাইন করে থাকি, আমাদের টেরিয়ন লাইসেন্স আছে। আপনাদের যদি এই রিলেটেড কোনো সাপোর্ট দরকার হয়, যে কোনো ধরনের কনসালটেন্সি, কোনো পরামর্শ, যে বাড়ি কেনার আগে এই বাড়িটা কি 4প্লেক্স করা যাবে না ডুপ্লেক্স করা যাবে, কোনো এক্সটেনশন করা যাবে কিনা, কোনো রেস্ট্রিকশন আছে কিনা, তো এই বিষয়ে কোনো কুইক সার্ভিসের দরকার হলে আপনারা আমাদের সাথে যোগাযোগ করতে পারেন। আমাদের ফোন নাম্বার দেওয়া আছে এখানে, তো আমরা হেল্প করার চেষ্টা করব। থ্যাংক ইউ, ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।
ধন্যবাদ আলী হোসেন ভাইকে। এরপর আমি অনুরোধ করবো আমাদের ইমিগ্রেশন কনসালটেন্ট সকলে পরিচিত মুরাদ ভাইকে, অ্যামাজন কনসালটিং ফর ইমিগ্রেশন। সো এখানে যত স্টুডেন্ট আছেন তাদের কোনো ধরনের এনি টাইপ অফ অ্যাডভাইস নিডেড, হি ইজ ভেরি কাইন্ড অ্যান্ড ভেরি কোঅপারেটিভ, ডোন্ট হেজিটেট টু রিচ আউট টু হিম ফর এনি অ্যাডভাইস। ধন্যবাদ। এই পর্বে আমি অনুরোধ করবো আমাদের কনসাল্টিং স্পেশালিস্ট আপনার মুরাদ ভাই কিছু কথা বলার জন্য। ধন্যবাদ।
জি, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আজকের এই চমৎকার অনুষ্ঠানে সবাইকে আমি স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। বিশেষ করে আমাদের বাংলাদেশের খুবই ব্রিলিয়ান্ট লোকজনের সামনে আমি দাঁড়িয়ে আছি। ইঞ্জিনিয়ার যেই প্রতিষ্ঠানে ভর্তি হওয়ার জন্য আমাদের ছোটবেলা থেকে আমরা অনেক কষ্ট করে থাকি। আমাদের প্যারেন্টসদের একটা ইয়া থাকে যে আমরা ইঞ্জিনিয়ার অথবা ডাক্তার হব। আমি সেই স্কলার লোকজনের সামনে দাঁড়িয়ে কথা বলছি। আমি নিজেকে খুবই গর্বিত মনে করছি। আপনাদের যে আজকের প্রোগ্রাম, যে অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ বাংলাদেশ ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্স অফ অন্টারিওর যে ক্যারিয়ার মেন্টরিং অ্যান্ড নেটওয়ার্কিং ইভেন্ট, এটা সত্যিই একটা আপনাদের জন্য খুবই একটা দরকারি একটা বিষয়। এটা আমাদের আরও হওয়া উচিত এবং আরও ফ্রিকুয়েন্টলি হওয়া উচিত। এতক্ষণ খুব মনোযোগ দিয়ে শুনছিলাম। আমাদের অনেক ব্রিলিয়ান্ট মানুষ শুধু নেটওয়ার্কিং এবং শুধু এই যে একটা কিভাবে জিনিসটা পেতে হবে, কিভাবে একটা রেজুমে করতে হবে, কিভাবে ফলো আপ করতে হবে, এগুলো আমাদের যখন আমরা শিখবো ইনশাল্লাহ আমরা আমাদের রাইট পজিশনে আমরা পাবো। আমাদের যারা ইঞ্জিনিয়ার আছেন ওনারা অত্যন্ত ব্রিলিয়ান্ট এবং বাংলাদেশের ইঞ্জিনিয়ারদের বুয়েটের বা যারা ইঞ্জিনিয়ার আছেন আমাদের অনেক সুনাম আছে। আমার অনেক ফ্রেন্ড আছে, ওরা শুধু ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, বাংলাদেশে ইঞ্জিনিয়ার খোঁজে, এখানকার বড় কোম্পানিগুলো, সিটিগুলো। তো এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের জন্য বিশাল একটা গর্বের ব্যাপার। সো আমাদের দরকার হচ্ছে নেটওয়ার্কিং এবং মেন্টরিং। তো এই ইভেন্টটা হচ্ছে সেই কারণেই, এবং আমি আপনাদেরকে যারা এটার আয়োজন করেছেন সবাইকে আমার মনের আন্তরিকভাবে আমি কৃতজ্ঞতা জানাচ্ছি যে আপনারা এই ইভেন্টটা করেছেন এবং ফ্রিকুয়েন্টলি আপনারা এমন করবেন। অ্যাজ এ স্পন্সর আমরা আপনাদের পাশে আছি। যখন যে ধরনের কোনো প্রোগ্রাম হবে, কোনো এক্সপেন্স, অন্য কেউ না আসুক, আমি আসবো। আমি শুনেছি মনোযোগ দিয়ে, এবং আমাদের আরও লোক দরকার। আমাদের লোকজন আমাদের রাইট জায়গাতে যাক এবং উপরে উঠে যাক। সো সবাইকে আবারও ধন্যবাদ। আমি ওয়াজির হোসেন মুরাদ, অ্যামাজন ইমিগ্রেশন সার্ভিসেস। আমরা ক্যানাডিয়ান ইমিগ্রেশনের সমস্ত ধরনের কাজ করে থাকি। আমার জন্য দোয়া করবেন। থ্যাংক ইউ। আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ধন্যবাদ ওয়াজির হোসেন মুরাদ ভাইকে আমাদের আপনার সুন্দর বক্তব্য উপস্থাপন করার জন্য। আমি এই পর্বে আমি অনুরোধ করবো আমাদের এক্স ABEO প্রেসিডেন্ট আমাদের সৌরভ ভাইকে কেস প্রদান করার জন্য আমাদের যে পাওয়ার স্পন্সর ডক্টর আলী হোসেন ভাইকে কেস প্রদান করবেন। ধন্যবাদ। ধন্যবাদ সৌরভ ভাই, দাদা আলী হোসেন ভাই, ধন্যবাদ আপনাদের দুজনকে। এই পর্বে আমি অনুরোধ করবো আমাদের বর্তমান প্রেসিডেন্ট ইউসুফ তালুকদারকে কেস প্রদান করার জন্য আমাদের আরেকজন পাওয়ার স্পন্সর অ্যামাজনের ওনার আপনার ওয়াজির হোসেন মুরাদ ভাইকে কেস প্রদান করেন। ধন্যবাদ। এই পর্বে আমি অনুরোধ করবো আপনার আমাদের আরেকজন পাওয়ার স্পন্সর আমাদের সাইদ ভাই হচ্ছে আমাদের টেকনিশিয়ান ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং মেকানিক্যাল অ্যান্ড ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ডিজাইন কোম্পানির সিইও এন্ড প্রেসিডেন্ট আমাকে কেসপারক আমাদের বর্তমান ABEO ভাইস প্রেসিডেন্ট ফজল করিম ভাইকে কেসপারক করব। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে, ধন্যবাদ আমন্ত্রিত অতিথিদেরকে আপনাদের আসন গ্রহণ করার জন্য ধন্যবাদ। এই পর্বে আমাদের একটু আমি আন্তরিকভাবে দুঃখিত, আমাদের লাঞ্চ আসতে একটু দেরি হচ্ছে, সো আমি আমার মাইক্রোফোন আমি হ্যান্ড ওভার করছি। ধন্যবাদ।
Let's carry on. Yeah, let's carry on to knowing what we are here for, right? Food is always there, but knowledge is not everywhere, but knowledge is here. So let's get to the important thing, the PH, or how to get it. So let me introduce to our next speaker, where we will learn about all about how to get a PH. Please put your hands together to welcome MD Atiq Islam. He is a senior electrical engineer at Tetra Tech. He is a licensed engineer, of course. He has 14 years of experience working in this industry, and he is also very involved with the community. He is the general secretary with the Quetta alumni, and also he is our very own professional director of professional membership. Please welcome MD Atiq Islam. We will learn all about how to get the inch. You can go until the food comes.
I could bring my guitar as well. Hi guys, thanks for coming here. As always he has said that my name is Atiq Islam. People just simply call me Atiq. Anyways, I was supposed to actually deliver my speech after the lunch today, but lunch is coming late, so they just picked me up because I'm from their own company, you know. That's why they just picked me up, so I had to come, you know. Anyways, thanks for coming here, and I'm seeing a lot of new faces here, many young, chaps. And to be honest with you, I was recalling my time when I came to Canada in 2015, and I just came to my uncle's house, and over there, because he is non-technical. So literally that time I was looking for an engineer from my side to get like a real advice, because someone was telling me, okay, go for studies, and I was saying, no, don't go. Don't do that. Don't go for masters. Okay, whatever job you are getting, get into it. Don't lose any time here. Okay, so I used to come around here, and I started getting many advices here. So actually I was thinking, okay, can I see or can I meet any person who is from my own field, because basically I work in the power sector in Bangladesh. I work for REB, the Rural Electrification Board over there, and also I work for a construction company, basically the electrical supply system I design over there. So I was looking for someone who is basically from my side. So that time I couldn't meet any person, unfortunately, for around 1 or 2 weeks. So that was actually the shortcomings I was having that time. So nowadays there are many communities we have or we got. You can see for the major engineering industries in Bangladesh, there are BEO alumni, Quetta alumni, Quetta alumni. But there are many other universities in Bangladesh as well. But and they don't have alumni like BEO alumni, Quetta alumni, Quetta alumni here, right? So I found that in 2016, that ABEO, Association of Bangladesh Engineers, and someone from that ABEO told me that would you like to involve? Yeah, I said yeah, I want, because I personally always prefer to be with the people. So since then I got involved with ABEO, and we had another seminar before Corona. I used to live in that. Yeah, then this is another seminar we are having today, and since I started telling my own story, I wish I could have something like this, because that time I used to go here and there just to get advice. Now you guys are seeing a lot of people here, and they are from our own. I feel proud today because during our last seminar, I saw that most of the seminars were from like non-Bengali people, because by that we prefer to see other community people. But actually this time we are seeing most of our own people, our Bangladeshi people. That is, and we have discovered that our Bangladeshi engineers, they are in very like in the old position, in old like industries, right? So we are getting advantage. Please take advantage of using that method. Anyway, now let me start about how to become a professional engineer in Ontario. This is my actually topic, because after moving to Canada, or even before moving to Canada, you would learn that they don't want to hire people, like engineer, mostly the international engineer. They don't like. All the 2+2 is 4, not 5 in Canada, right? It's 2 plus 2 is everywhere is 4. But if you go to a company here, do you have Canadian experience? How can you do it? Right? I have come from everywhere. Do you have Canadian degree? Right? They will ask those kind of questions, right? And anyway, but the major requirement here is to become PhD here. That I found also, particularly for those who are involved in the regulatory engineering program, like electrical, mechanical, civil.
শেষ হইলে তারপরে এটা করবো, তারপরে আমাদের না আসে তখন
Now, experience requirements. This is the major challenge, because you have to have 48 months of acceptable, verifiable professional engineering experience. And the key object, as I already told you guys, that there is no longer required Canadian experience that I had to submit before. And all professional engineering experience for working in Canada internationally is assessed. Those are like application theory, practical application of engineering principles in design, analysis, problem solving, or scenarios. I believe food is almost here, so I'm rushing because I have already been told I don't need to do bog because food is here. So, because I'm from their own company, as I mentioned to you, so I can do it anyway. Okay, so now what are the types of those experience requirements? First of all, project management. You need to have submit your project management related experience, and also responsible charge. You have to demonstrate that accountability and the leadership in engineering work. And just to let you know, graduate experience maximum 12 months after halfway through degree. But don't think that just by doing that degree you will get that 12 months. You have to practice in the field. But you can claim maximum 12 months from that degree period. And the graduation degree also up to 12 months, like master's, if that is industry related, may also count toward the requirement. So basically, if anyone has 12 months of industry related experience during his graduation program, he can claim that as well. So this is there are 34 competencies. So I don't want to read all of them because it will be very much boring, of course. As I mentioned to you, if you guys need any kind of help, you can come to me or any of us. I will be happy to share this one. Okay, so this is technical competencies. So competencies, there are 10 competencies including that. There are safety, there are personal skills, also communication, project management, there are 5 competencies. Professional accountability, 6 competencies, including ethics, law, and professional development. Sustainability, 4 competencies on social, environmental, and economical impact. So basically, those competencies you need to have, you have to show through your working experience. You have to show them. Now, I would like to just show you one example how to write that like experience report writing. I know that is a little bit challenging to write that thing, but nowadays you guys have AI, right? You will ask your ChatGPT, hey, write me this. Anyways, I also took help to prepare this from AI. Okay. Anyways, I think nowadays everyone will like use artificial intelligence. So this one is the idea is it should be like situational, action and outcome based. First of all, you have to explain the situation of your project, why you are doing that. And so basically you have to tell what is forcing you to do that. Then the action, what kind of action you are taking as an engineer to achieve that. And finally, you have to show that outcome, the outcome of your like design work or of your engineering activities. It's not something like that. Okay, I made something, then it turns something else. Okay, so that's the thing, basic thing you have to show in your experience when you are starting to PO. So, and you have to just keep in mind that that should be like situational, action-based, and outcome-based. You have to write your experience in that way. So after that, then proving design experience and validations. So of course, anyone can submit, right? But PO would like to check or verify whether it is valid or invalid, whether you really got that or not. So for Canadian experience, it is very much straightforward for them to understand. Like they will need validation from any like supervisor or PH from Canada, from the same industry. It's not mandatory that they need to be from the same industry, but it is recommended. But they at least they need to know and that your work that you really perform, or you have to tell them how they know that. You have to like correlate to your like work experience or to your company. So this is the validation part. Now you might be interested about your international, because nowadays they don't no longer require like 1 year mandatory Canadian experience. So now I know like we have Mama Chacha Khalu in Bangladesh who can write our like resume and you can claim, hey, I have done this, that, and I will just call them. Hey, if someone reaches out to you, just tell them that I did that. Anyway, I have people might try to do that. Anyway, they try their best to like verify that. You have to provide a validator's name. For you achieve that Bangladeshi experience or international experience, you have to tell them that he is a validator. And it is recommended that validator knows that job. They might ask you to submit that he is really an engineer. It is recommended if he is a part of he is a PH of that country as well. So that is recommended as well. So yeah, as I am telling, I know that who are professional engineers here, a little bit old or who got it earlier, little bit different now. That's why I'm telling you. If you guys need to know any kind of information, please reach out to us. So I'm almost at the end. I know you guys are very much hungry. Now, what we do, like every year, as I told you, starting based on my own story, I literally like big person of whom I should go. Now you have platform here, right? You have seen like not all of us, not most of us, all of us are Bangladeshi here. I can tell you. And this is part of ABEO, Association of Bangladeshi Engineers of Ontario. So whether from whatever university, from Bangladesh University, from anywhere, feel that you are part of ABEO. Come to us. So we have several support here, mentorship support here, research support here, community connection. So like I have seen, I was really happy to see like people here, or young chaps here, they are just trying to connect each other. That is the requirement. And in Canada, that's legal, you know. To give reference, it is legal. But in Bangladesh, our country, we always say, oh, কত জব পেয়েছে চাচা মামার জোরে, এখানে কিন্তু বলেই দেয় যে তোমার চাচা মামা থাকতে হবে বা এখানে থাকতে হবে। So it's not limited, you have to have your চাচা মামা খালু, but you can make your connections through your own, at your own. So this is a good platform, and being a part of ABEO, I'm the part of the board of directors. We will try our best to focus on this kind of organizing events, of course, so that our students of Bangladeshi, they can have the basic knowledge. Because information is highly important. It can change your life. As I mentioned my own story, my life could have changed, you know. I could still be doing that kind of job still if that was not triggered, you know. Anyway, so I'm going to finish my presentation. So that's all from my side. If you guys have any questions, I would like to answer. If you don't like to ask now because you are hungry, you want to eat, you can ask me later as well. Okay? I would just search my name as India Producer on LinkedIn, and I will share my email address, everything. If you have any questions, then please ask me now. As I mentioned, if you don't have, anytime you can reach me out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Atik. We really appreciate your time and all the effort that you put in. We want to hold on to that question because we do have our special guest in here, and I want to over to
ধন্যবাদ আমাদের ডিরেক্টর আতিক ভাইকে তার সুন্দর বক্তব্য উপস্থাপন করার জন্য আপনার অ্যাজ এ স্পিকার ফর্মার ডিরেক্টর কমিটি মেম্বার। আর এই পর্বে আমি অনুরোধ করব আমাদের সিনিয়র ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ার ওপিজি এহসান ভাইকে মঞ্চে এসে একটু ক্রেস্ট দেওয়ার জন্য আমাদের ধন্যবাদ এহসান ভাইকে, এহসান চৌধুরী আপনার ধন্যবাদ আতিক ভাইকে। এই পর্বে আমি অনুরোধ করবো আমি আবারও দুঃখ প্রকাশ করছি আমাদের ABEO পক্ষ থেকে আমাদের দুর্ভাগ্যজনক আমাদের কোনো একটা সমস্যা হচ্ছে, আমাদের লাঞ্চ আসতে দেরি হচ্ছে, তার বিশেষ করে ট্রান্সপোর্টেশন সমস্যা হচ্ছে একটু, হ্যাঁ, এই জন্য আমি আন্তরিক দুঃখিত। আর এই পর্বে অনুরোধ করি আমাদের যে বর্তমান প্রেসিডেন্ট ইউসুফ তালুকদার, ওনাকে সংক্ষিপ্ত কিছু আমাদের ABEO ইতিহাস শর্টলি বলার জন্য আমি মঞ্চে এসে আমাদের ABEO একটা ওয়েলকাম স্পিচ প্লাস এবং সেই একই সাথে উনি আমাদের অতিথিকে গ্রহণ করে স্পেশাল গেস্ট ডেলিভারি।
থ্যাংক ইউ মারুফ। আসসালামু আলাইকুম সবাইকে। উই আর অলরেডি late for the lunch. Our special guest just came in, so I'll talk in few words. Association of Bangladeshi Engineers of Ontario Career Mentoring and Networking Event. Honorable MPP, 3 times hectic MPP, our daughter, our sister Ms. Goli Begum, respected Chief Guest, Mr. Srabuddin Bhaiya, ABEO President, esteemed engineers, guests, media partners, Assalamu alaikum. As a president of ABEO, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you all in this wonderful event. That this event is one of the vision of ABEO, Association of Bangladeshi Engineers of Ontario. Just a little bit focus about Association of Bangladeshi of Ontario. A group of young engineers in 1997, they came forward to form this Association of Bangladeshi Engineers of Ontario to help our newcomer engineers socially and professionally. I like to mention their names: Dr. Mozammil Khan, Aminul Islam, Dr. Isar Karim, Rizal Rahman, many more people are there. So we thank you for them, those who created this wonderful organization. all the engineers and architects who graduated from anywhere of any university of anywhere of the world, they will be our, like in Bangladeshi engineers, they will be our member. Students are our associate member. So we are the one organization, engineering organization, where all of the engineering university, engineering students, engineers, they will be the member of our organization. We are very happy to let you know the things that this our current board of directors, executive members and advisors, we try to reach all of the University of Bangladesh. Earlier we are great, we normally found that engineers, this organization. Now we have MIST, National Engineering College, North South University, ABEO, IOB, I don't know a lot of university names. So we are very happy to bring all of them under the same roof. So we encourage all of the Bangladeshi engineers and architects, please join in this organization. We will try to help you out in several ways, socially, professionally. This event is only definitely those who need the job, recent graduate engineers, or if you want to change this career, that is the good seminar, good things here. Every year we will do the things here. So please come to the networking session also. Networking is very helpful for everybody. Know each other and then you can connect for your better future. So I request all of my especially the new graduate, recent graduate engineers, students and job seekers, please talk to, there are a lot of distinguished engineers, those who are in the high position in front of me, so you can get help from them. So if you don't know their name, just let us know where you want to go for application, where you to get the job or you need help, let us know the things. And by this time, one of my friends already told that his son already applied for OPG. I already spoke with Nimung Jahangir. She is the senior manager of OPG. She is here. She said, okay, we can do that. Definitely, we need that. In Bangladesh, we need the mamu. Here, we need the reference. Remember, here, we need the reference. So please join all of the programs. It is the big organization, and in future, with all of your support, all Bangladeshi engineers support, definitely it will be big organization. At the end, I thank you again the special guest. She has a busy time. I informed in the last moment, and she is here. We are very grateful and honored her presence in this wonderful event. Thank you very much সবাইকে আমি পরিশেষে আমার আজকের যে ইভেন্ট কোঅর্ডিনেটর মিস ইফাত আরা definitely she did wonderful job, also her group, but she did wonderful job. Thank you very much ইফাত আরা, thank you সবাইকে। এখন আমরা আমাদের লাস্ট শেষ কাছে আমরা কিছুক্ষণের মধ্যে আমাদের স্পেশাল গেস্টকে আমি আমার মঞ্চে আসার জন্য আমি অনুরোধ জানাচ্ছি। I request Ifat Ara to give our special guest the flowers. This wonderful event, it deserves the things. Thank you সবাইকে। Thank you. Now I request our special guest, Ms. Dolly Begum, to say a few words. And after the speech, we go for lunch. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Adab. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for including me in your wonderful networking event. I wanted to come and just kind of show my appreciation for the engineers, for ABEO, and for the work that you do, because I think it benefits us as well. I actually was able to reach out to some of the engineers from the Bangladeshi community when I brought one of my first bills in Parliament to recognize internationally trained professionals and how we can make sure that we break some of the barriers. So I just wanted to come and show my appreciation every time I get called to come to this event, because I feel like I owe it to all of you to do that. And of course, Yusuf uncle treats me like his daughter, and onek dabi kore jokhon phone den, so I can't say no. So I'm grateful to have such love and support from my elders here in the community. So it's another reason for me to always show up to our community events and make sure that we show that recognition for your hard work and dedication all the time. Today, when I look around the room, I see the type of talent that we have, the experience, the education, the skills that we've brought here in Ontario. And I think Ontario is very lucky to have this type of talent here. And your contribution has made so much difference within our province. And there's way more that I know there are opportunities that unfortunately we have not harnessed yet. We have had multiple Working for Workers Act, which is actually the name of the legislation. And the first one was where we had the change for specific barrier for internationally trained professionals. And engineers are such that you come here with that dream of contributing with years of education, with your hard work, with your experience, and unfortunately in Ontario you have a tough time being able to get recognized for your skills. So I think it's very important that we have these kind of networking sessions as well. I know Atikul talked about some of the things, like for example, Canadian experience, something that it's still in effect in reality, because আপনি যখন ইন্টারভিউতে গেলেন তখন কিন্তু দেখা যায় যে যার Canadian experience নাই, তারপর অনেক outside of Canada experience say no matter what happens, even though that's legally not allowed, it does happen. So আমাদেরকে যে আমাদের বাংলাদেশী হিসাবে sometimes you feel you're treated a little bit more unfairly, and that's actually within the system as well. And I've talked about this in Parliament, which is people who come from different parts of the world, depending on where in the world you come from, your interview goes differently, or the legislation affects you differently. And we see that every single time. When I talk to individuals like yourselves, you tell me about the many times you have to fight, or really climb that ladder to go and get the job that you truly deserved. And I think it's really important that me as a legislator, for the policies that we implement in this province, we understand exactly where the flaw is, where that problem is, because sometimes our government makes policies that they think are helping people, but it doesn't actually help. And we've had that multiple times with labor regulations, with regulations that helps people, or supposed to help people within different regulatory bodies, but unfortunately it was just that English requirement lagbe na, Canadian experience lagbe na. But in reality, when you went for that job, you were still stopped, or you had barriers in that way because you didn't have those things, and the government did nothing to help. And the other part of it is funding. অনেক সময় আছে যে you need to go through the same education system, but you come here, you have to work, you have a family to take care of, you have rents to pay, all of those things. At the same time, you're trying to get the same credentials that you have already spent so much time and money and effort to get. And I think we have to help our community members through those programs that allows them, and possible grants and ways that it makes it easier and affordable, so that they don't have to spend so much money. So these are some of the things that I've learned from many of you over the last couple of years. This is my 8th year stepping into as an MPP, and I think we have a lot more to do in terms of supporting our professional engineers across Ontario, and those who are aspiring to be professional engineers. I do want to say I see less women in the room, but I'm so proud to see some women in the room, and I hope that in the future you'll attract more women to join this profession, because it makes me super proud to see the young women who are aspiring to be engineers, who are engineers already, and I think it's a very good profession. It's so valuable because it provides so much for this, not just for this province, but for this nation, and we really need that, especially at a time that we're facing we're facing a tariff war with our closest neighbor. So thank you so much. It's my honor and a privilege to always join such great individuals and the level of talent that I have in this room. So thank you so much for making me a part of your occasion, and I hope that I can provide any support in the future. I'll always be there. And many things. Thanks.
ধন্যবাদ ডেলিভারি আপনার এই সুন্দর বক্তব্য উপস্থাপন করার জন্য, আমাদেরকে ফিউ ওয়ার্ড বলার জন্য। এইভাবে আমি অনুরোধ করবো, আমাদের এই যে এত সুন্দর একটা ইভেন্ট আমরা আয়োজন করেছি, আপনারা জানেন একটা ইভেন্ট করতে গেলে লট অফ ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড ওয়ার্ক যেই দেখা যায় না, সেই জন্য আমাদের এখানে কাজের স্বীকৃতি হিসেবে আমাদের কমিটি মেম্বার, যেটা আমাদের ডিরেক্টর ডেভেলপমেন্ট ইফা তারা, আমি তাকে আমাদের এই ইভেন্ট কোঅর্ডিনেটর হিসাবে আমরা তাকে প্র্যাকটিস প্রদান করার জন্য আমাদের যে স্পেশাল গেস্ট ডেলিভারি অনুরোধ করবো মঞ্চের মাঝে চলে যান। ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ NRB TV কেমেন্টো ভাইকে। আমি ইউসুফ তালুকদার, প্রেসিডেন্ট অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ বাংলাদেশি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্স অফ অন্টারিও পক্ষ থেকে আজকে আমাদের ক্যারিয়ার মেন্টরিং এবং নেটওয়ার্কস ইভেন্টের উপস্থিত সকল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারদেরকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। আমাদের অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ বাংলাদেশি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্স অন্টারিওর বাংলাদেশি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার, whether could be the Bangladeshi origin engineers and architect, দের একটা সংগঠন, যে সংগঠনের লক্ষ্য ভিশন হলো আমরা নিউ কামারদেরকে ইনিশিয়াল সেটেলমেন্ট থেকে শুরু করে কীভাবে সোশ্যালি এবং প্রফেশনালি তারা এখানে কানাডাতে সেটেল হতে পারে, সেই জন্য আমরা সব রকমের সহযোগিতা করে থাকি। সেইটার উদ্দেশ্যেই আজকে আমরা ক্যারিয়ার মেন্টরিং এবং নেটওয়ার্কিং সেশন আয়োজন করেছি। ক্যারিয়ার মেন্টরিং এখানে আমাদের এক্সপার্ট প্যানেল গ্রুপ আছেন যারা এখানে আজকে তাদের অভিজ্ঞতা শেয়ার করেছেন, তারা গাইডলাইন প্রদান করেছেন কিভাবে আমাদের এই ইয়ং জেনারেশন নিউ ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্স স্টুডেন্টরা, ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং স্টুডেন্টস তারা কীভাবে ইঞ্জিনিয়ার জব পাবে সেই গাইডলাইন ওনারা প্রদান করেছেন। এবং ভবিষ্যতেও যদি কোনো রকম প্রয়োজন হয় আমরা কন্টিনিউয়াস সাপোর্ট দেওয়া, তাদের কাছে যাওয়া, এছাড়া যদি কোনো জব ক্ষেত্রে যদি তাদের কোনো প্রয়োজন হয় সব রকমের সহযোগিতা করবে। কাজে আমরা আশা করব আজকে যারা উপস্থিত হতে পারেন নাই তারা আপনারা ভবিষ্যতে আমাদের যে কোনো অনুষ্ঠানে, এরপরে আমাদের একটা পিকনিক আছে 24শে আগস্ট, তারপর আমাদের ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্স নাইট আছে, যেটা আপনারা সবাই আসবেন। এই অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ বাংলাদেশি ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্সে ইঞ্জিনিয়ার্স অ্যান্ড আর্কিটেক্ট, এটার আপনারা সবাই মেম্বার, যারা এনিহুয়ার ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং গ্রাজুয়েট, এনিহুয়ার এনি ইউনিভার্সিটি ফ্রম দ্য এনিহুয়ার অফ দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড, তারাই এটার মেম্বার হতে পারবে। কাজে আমাদের এখানে নেক্সট জেনারেশন নতুন ইঞ্জিনিয়ার যারা আসছে অথবা যারাই এখান থেকে গ্রাজুয়েট করবে তারাই আমাদের সদস্য হতে পারবে, এবং আমরা অলওয়েজ ওয়ান্ট টু হেল্প ইউ আউট। সো প্লিজ জয়েন ইন আওয়ার নেক্সট প্রোগ্রাম। থ্যাংক ইউ সবাইকে, থ্যাংক ইউ NRB TV।
ধন্যবাদ NRB TV-কে আজকে আমাদের এই সুন্দর ক্যারিয়ার মেন্টরিং অ্যান্ড নেটওয়ার্কিং ইভেন্ট জুন 21 2025 এই সুন্দর ইভেন্টটা কভার করার জন্য আমি NRB TV-কে আন্তরিক ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি ABEOর পক্ষ থেকে। আজকে এই ABEOর যে সংগঠন, আজকে মোর দেন 20 ইয়ার্সের যে সংগঠন, আমরা এই নতুন কমিটি আমরা দায়িত্ব পেয়েছি 2025-এর শুরু থেকে, এবং আমাদের একটা চ্যালেঞ্জ ছিল যে আমরা একটা জব ইভেন্ট করতে চাচ্ছিলাম। সো আজকে সেই সন্ধিক্ষণ আমরা অনেক নিউ গ্র্যাজুয়েট এবং জব সিকার পেয়েছি, ডিফারেন্ট ডিসিপ্লিন, IT, electrical, civil, mechanical, federal and municipal, in different level of jobs. In the lot of people who was a speaker, they are holding the very good positions, and they have their very good advice. We also have a session, it's called one-to-one mentoring and mentee sessions. We have a booth in the corner. So during the lunchtime, whoever interested to talk to our mentors, they can also talk one-to-one with our proud mentors or speakers. However, আমি আবারও বলছি যে আপনাদের যে এই ইভেন্টটা করার পিছনে আমাদের প্রত্যেক ডাইরেক্টরের অবদান ছিল অনস্বীকার্য এবং প্রত্যেক এক্সিকিউটিভ মেম্বারদের ছিল অনস্বীকার্য। আমি নাম বলতে গেলে অনেক সময় চলে যাবে, আমি নাম বলছি না। এবং আমাদের যে অ্যাডভাইজার ছিল, আমি প্রত্যেককে আমি ধন্যবাদ দিতে চাই, ডাইরেক্টর থেকে নিয়ে আমাদের এক্সিকিউটিভ মেম্বার এবং আমরা অ্যাডভাইজারদেরকে ধন্যবাদ দিতে চাই। আর সেই সাথে আমি ধন্যবাদ দিতে চাই আমাদের প্রাউড স্পন্সরদেরকে, BCL, বনলতা কনসাল্টিং লিমিটেড, অ্যামাজন ইমিগ্রেশন কনসাল্টিং লিমিটেড এবং আপনার টেকনোভিশন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং, মেকানিক্যাল ইলেকট্রিক্যাল ডিজাইন কোম্পানি। তারা আমাদেরকে সর্বাত্মক ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল সাপোর্ট দিয়েছেন টু মেক দিস ইভেন্ট সাকসেসফুল। আমি আসলে আবারও ধন্যবাদ দিতে চাই সকল পার্টিসিপেন্টকে। পার্টিসিপেন্ট না থাকলে কোনো ইভেন্ট সাকসেসফুল হয় না। এখানে আমি সকল পার্টিসিপেন্টদেরকে যারা রেজিস্টার করেছে, ইয়র্ক ইউনিভার্সিটি, UFT, অন্টারিও টেক ইউনিভার্সিটি, লট অফ স্টুডেন্ট এবং যারা গ্রাজুয়েট এসেছেন, তাদেরকে আমি ধন্যবাদ দিতে চাই এবং আশা করি তারা যদি নেটওয়ার্কিংটা কন্টিনিউ করে এবং দে উইল গেট দ্য ওয়ান ডে or tomorrow or in future they will also be a speaker in a chair like today. So I want to see their success, who is looking for the engineering career in future. ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে।
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ifat Ara. In a profession, I'm an environmental engineer. I'm a director of professional development for ABEO. Today we are very pleased to share that we are doing a career networking and mentoring event here at Access Point. Actually, the purpose of this event was to getting to know the people who are in the industry, in the leading position, in the managerial position, and hooking them up with the people who are looking for a job. That could be new graduates, that could be new people who just landed in Canada with international experience. And so far we are halfway through, so we had several sessions from different industry experts and panel sessions with the different industry experts from civil, mechanical and other engineering faculties, and we are looking forward for the rest of the session as well. Today the crowd is incredible, and we see a lot of people who are really looking forward to expand their career or switch their career. They are here, they are consuming the information, and we are also grateful that we have almost 14 of the mentors are here who are sharing their journey and also willing to mentor the mentees. So we appreciate ABEO to organize this type of event, and also we look forward to organize this type of event so that our community can grow, and there are definite potential of strengthening our engineering community here in Toronto and as well as overall Canada. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the sponsors and all the people who has came here and our media partners too. Thank you.